In order to bring you this Time Warner 13 Sports Special. Join Point and Click next week at its regular time. Man wide open in Nardella. Big shot. Save is made by Labbe to Rob Brown. Over to BJ in front. What a save by J.F. Labbe! Stacking the pads and keeping the puck out of the net. In the playoffs, the team will go as far as its goaltender will carry it. And J.F. Labbe has carried the Syracuse Crunch to Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals. So smiles, everyone, as David Ling and the Crunch are looking to get their freak on tonight. It's a deciding game of this Western Conference semifinal between the Crunch and the Wolves. Next. It's crunch time in Syracuse. Tonight from the War Memorial at On Center, it's Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinal series between the Chicago Wolves and the Syracuse Crunch. As you can see, tonight is going to be the deciding game of this series. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob McElligott alongside of Keith Copeland. We've had plenty of exciting playoff hockey action here at the War Memorial this year. Keith, it all culminates in this game tonight.
You know, and I didn't want to steal your line in this case, Bob, but this is crunch time. You can't get up for Game 7. You can't get up for anything in this case. And certainly a big game for Syracuse. Haven't been into Game 7 for the Western Conference semifinal since 1996 against Baltimore. But a lot has been made about this team, and specifically about being in this building. 5-0 in this building in the playoffs, and that's certainly going to be a factor going into this decisive game tonight.
It is going to be a factor, and the crowds have been terrific in Syracuse, and the energy really has transferred itself from the stands to the ice and into the players, and they've done a fantastic job feeding off of that energy and winning in front of the home crowd tonight. Again, it's not going to be an easy task because the Chicago Wolves are a very experienced veteran team. This is the third time in as many series in this year's playoffs they're going to the deciding game.
This is, as you say, I mean, a team not only with that playoff-tested experience, but age, game-worn experience, too. In fact, they're led by a guy in their center and their captain, a left winger, Steve Malte. He's a guy who the Syracuse Crunch have kept in check for the most part. You see 10 points in the playoffs. If they're going to win this game tonight, you're going to have to keep crafty veterans like Malte in check even further. Keep him off the scoring board, and you're going to win this game. As far as the Crunch are concerned, this guy has been getting it done for Syracuse. He did in the last game. 2 goals for David Ling, including both of these in which he goes top shelf. Great output from Ling.
And David Ling is a veteran player. He's been around for a long time. He has stepped up to lead this team in the playoffs, especially in the absence of the captain, Sean Pronger. There you see his totals in the postseason, and the Crunch needs David Ling. They need Matt Davidson. They need Matthew Darsh. They need J.F. Labbe. They need each and every person on the bench and on the roster to win this one tonight.
And not only that, but as you alluded to, everyone in this building for some reason has a way to make 4,000 sound like 8,000 or more. If all those fans show up in full voice tonight, it's going to be a rocking place, Bob.
It is going to be a rocking place, and it is Game 7, and it will be decided between the Crunch and the Wolves, and it's all coming up next on Time Warner 13 Sports. There's the John Chick Trophy, which was presented to the Syracuse Crunch for winning the Central Division this year. The Crunch went on to capture the Western Conference regular season title, and tonight they try to advance to the Western Conference Finals. There's a look at Pasi Nurminen, the goaltender of the Chicago Wolves. He got pulled out of Game 6, but he's been stellar in the series.
Yeah, although Syracuse found a way to beat him in Game 6, and we'll have to see if there are any lingering effects of getting the early hook in that contest.
On the other side, here's the man that has just excelled in this building, Jean-Francois Labbe. His goals against average is stellar, 1.56, and he is looking to carry his team to the next round. John Anderson hoping to do the same with his club, though.
And Anderson said he was very surprised the way the Crunch came out in that Game 6 the other night. I don't think he's going to be surprised by the way they come out in Game 7.
And there's a look at Gary Agnew. Gary Agnew has been involved in Game 7s before. Hasn't been as a professional, but it has been in junior hockey. A Game 7's a Game 7, and he has his team prepared for this one tonight. Chris Nielsen will take the opening faceoff for the Crunch. And he does win it. The Crunch will flip that puck into the Chicago zone. Eric Ferlat, the referee tonight. Terry Henneberg and Steve LeMay are the linesmen. As Darryl Scoville is inside of his own zone. A little bit of help from Chris Nielsen. He gets the puck out through the neutral zone. Crunch is going to be guilty of an early icing call here as Dallas Eakins goes back to touch up inside of his own zone. And there you saw Jeremy Reach kind of half-heartedly finish off that check. He pulled up so that he wouldn't get whistled, but he also got the body into Dallas Eakins to send a message. That message is, we played you physical in Game 6. We will play the same way in Game 7.
Oh, sure thing, and especially in light of the fact that you get this crowd into it early with a big check, and that has a way to carry through. And you got to believe Chicago's thinking about this with Jeremy Reach, is that they've only managed one goal in this building in this series so far.
And there you see the folks, some of them that have come out tonight to enjoy Game 7. This has been the hottest ticket in town over the course of the last couple of days. And Brad Moran is out to take a face-off for the first time tonight for the Syracuse Crunch. The puck will hit that dot. And there you get a good look. And Andreas Carlson, nice job by Moran to tie him up as Shrupko fires up the far wall. Wolves able to keep that puck in, and they send it toward the net, and the save is made by Labbe. Well, you see the Wolves coming with some early pressure tonight. That's not a surprise.
No, and in fact, one way Syracuse had success in the game last week was staying on him tight.
Here's Moran with a shot off of Mike Weaver. Moran trying to get position on the rebound. He does before losing an edge behind the net. We get a late penalty call here. Eric Furlat waited a second before he called Steve Malte for tripping. The Crunch has an early power play, only 44 seconds in.
Well, we talked about Malte in the pregame in terms of, as goes the captain, goes the rest of the team. Now, this is not a very good pace to set in this contest behind his own goal, and there you see it. And a late whistle by Furlat, but Moran obviously is pulled down, so off goes Malte, and Syracuse takes their power play on now in a 7-for-37 power play in this series.
Well, it's good to have Steve Malte off the ice, and Brad Moran just going hard to the puck. That's why he got that call for the Crunch. And so Moran will take the face-off once again. He's on the power play here with David Ling and Matthew Darsh up front. And working the blue line, Derek Walser and Jamie Heward. Guy LaRose taking the face-off and winning it as Chicago doesn't waste any time and forcing the Crunch all the way back into their own end. Heward going to take the puck. Ben Simon putting the pressure on him. Now Walser will take over. Derek Walser loves to carry the mail on the power play. And he passes to Heward. Heward sends it in. Nermanen unable to play it. Ling bouncing it toward the net. Simon knocked it aside. And now the Wolves trying to clear. Guy LaRose couldn't do it. Darsh with a nice hit on him. Comes back to the near side. Darsh couldn't hold it. Walser will get it. Right point. Wristed in. That one hit a body belonging to Garnet Exelby of the Chicago Wolves. Heward tried to knock down that clearing attempt. It goes off the linesman. That'll give a 2-on-1 break to the Wolves. Here's Simon. Right wing pass to LaRose, and he had his stick tied up from behind. Great job by Heward to get back into that play. Now it's a Crunch on the counterattack, but there's a penalty upcoming against Syracuse behind the play. An interference call that will negate the remaining 1 minute and 12 seconds on the Crunch man advantage.
And that penalty will be called on David Ling. And you see Ling obviously not too pleased with that call, but Ling doing what he can along with Walser to get back along with Brad Moran. You can see right there in that scoring opportunity for Chicago. And after that shot on net is when Ling is whistled for the infraction, as he brings down Guy LaRoche. So Ling goes off. Gary Agnew's penalty killed unit's going to be tested here in about 1 minute and 12 seconds as we skate 4-on-4.
Nielsen winning the face-off. Scoville looking for a little bit of room. That's all he'll find is a little bit. Back to Borzienski. Crunch having to circle around inside of their own zone. Nielsen forced all the way around behind the net. Wolves with good pressure. They've got a game plan here against the Crunch, and a long shot from DePenta right in on Labbe, who holds on long enough to get the whistle.
I tell you, that game plan involves several different aspects, along with obviously being very aggressive on the forecheck. It's going to be getting a lot of shots on J.F. Labbe. This is a guy who has shut them down and shut them down constantly in this building, and you got to believe they want to throw everything plus the kitchen sink at Labbe, and get an early goal too, because as we've all seen, as Labbe keeps the puck out of the net and the game progresses, he gets even stronger.
Good job by Moran to win the draw. Borzienski looking for room, doesn't have any. Snyder making sure of that. See 3 men in the zone, 4 checking for the Chicago Wolves here as Nielsen finally comes out to the neutral zone. Nielsen looking to cut left wing side. Good job of him to get wide, and then his backhanded dish attempt to Andre Neteros just didn't go. Neteros back on the puck, one-hander. Nielsen hit the side of the net as he got that one away. Now the Wolves in a 4-on-4 situation. Losing control. DePenta will regroup inside of his own end. Now it's Kirill Safronov. Looking to go to Snyder. Dan Snyder couldn't control. Borzienski getting pressured from Vigier. And so now Davidson will carry up the far wall. Almost caught an edge there. Gets to the center red line. That'll enable him to play it in. The opening moments of Game 7, period number 1. And the Crunch about to be shorthanded. And here come the Wolves. They are on the power play as Malte jumps out of the box, and he'll get right into the play. Doobie Westcott inside of his own end, putting that puck on the forehand, and he bangs it off the glass and beyond the glove of Bob Nardella.
Well, as good as the power play has been for Syracuse, it's been pretty awful for Chicago. You see right there, their series power plays at about 27%, 14 for 60, but as of late, 2 for 34 in the last couple of games.
Nardella getting up on the play, Trainer stepping into him, forces him to the far corner. That's Rob Brown now that's over there. Brown unable to dig it free initially, and now he does. Moran got position on Nardella. Great job by Moran to get it to Trainer and clear the zone. Well, Moran has only played a couple of shifts. They've been hard-working shifts.
Yeah, in fact, you see a lot of these guys. Obviously, this is Game 7, so you know they're going to give it their all every single shift out there on the ice.
Nardella had his pass broken up. He'll now go to the far side. Francis Lessard, who is back for this game. He had been suspended for 10 games, and he returns tonight as we're back to full and even strength. Heward with a pass to Nielsen, and Lessard is a tough guy. Here's Nielsen in left wing, being held up, and it was Lessard that stepped into it. Rob Brown trying to get free on the left wing side, couldn't take the pass. Labbe gathers it in. Good job to play it around his man. Heward looking for Darsh. Now to Ling. Flip it ahead for Darsh. Bouncing puck. He couldn't settle it down, but he does get a hit up on Lessard. Heward will take over now and fires it toward Nermanen, who makes the save. Malte with Darsh draping him from behind. Preston Mitzi on the end boards here. Couldn't get free. Puck to the blue line. Heward settle it down. Big shot, and the save is made by Nermanen. And here come the Wolves. They'll try to turn it around with McKenzie slipping behind the defense. McKenzie comes in. Backhanded shot. Labbe in position. Labbe makes the save.
And you can see they're trying to rattle the Bay. They're going to continue on as this play is whistled dead. And I would expect that will be a reoccurring theme in this game tonight as Chicago tries to get to Labbe, and McKenzie right there with a good shot on goal. Simon in on that play too.
Well, J.F. Labbe got a couple of penalties in Chicago. That's why they'll try to get into his face. And you see right here, Nermanen making that save. Couldn't find the rebound, but the Wolves did. And then watch Labbe on the other side.
Yeah, and this nice little backhand shot there, too, by McKenzie, but Labbe just gobbles it up with the glove hand.
Good job, though, by Heward to force that man into that shot.
Yeah, the defense is holding up solid.
Here comes Walzer. Trying to put it on the right wing side for Paraluk. Just got it out of his reach. And now it is going to be Dallas Aikens carrying for the Wolves. There's a hit behind the play on Preston Mitzi. Mitzi's going to get out of his own zone. Crunch will set up in their end. Puck around the boards, and it goes through. Neteros trying to settle it down with a skate and could not. Nermanen will move out of the net to play this puck. And he sent it right out in front, and the first one there is Ben Simon.
Oh, man.
Oh, what a mistake, and a big mistake it almost was. Turned in by Passy Nermanen. And here come the Wolves with a shot wide of the net. Vigé, far boards, leave it to the blue line. Weaver sent it in, hit a man on the way. That was Mitzi. Here's Vigé's shot denied by Labbe. JP Vigé on the far wall, sent it toward the front of the net. Save is made by JF. And now it's a good battle between Mitzi and Snyder. Stepping in is Vigé, and Walzer trying to work him over. Takes him all the way to the wall. Walzer holding his man up nicely, but Snyder will come out with a puck. Tries to wrap around. Save is made. Rebound cleared by Neteros to the far board.
Wow, they're throwing at it from every angle.
And then there's a deflection and a goal. And I believe that it was either Vigé or Butsayev in front that was able to tip that one by.
You know, just as we said, throwing at him from every angle. You see right there, that is a sharp angle from the far boards. And if Butsayev gets credit for that goal, and indeed he, in all likelihood, will, that's going to be his third of this playoff series. And that will give him the team lead. And you see, again, a wraparound try and a sharp angle right here from the far faceoff circle actually gets tipped in. So a redirected shot. That actually wasn't McKenzie, or excuse me, that was, as you see right there, Vigé. So Vigé gets his third goal of the series, regardless. A 1-0 lead right now for Chicago.
Now Chicago comes out and they throw it at the net and it pays off. Now the Crunch has got a rebound now from this.
And again, 8 shots on Labbe early in this first period. So you can see that's the game plan Chicago wants to institute in this one, is just fire the puck at Labbe early and often.
Scoville bringing it in. And the bouncing puck that Nermanen traps against the side of the net in order to get the faceoff. So John Anderson's team happy about the way that they have started this game, throwing a lot of pressure on J.F. Labbe. And they've had it pay off so far. But the Crunch still has plenty of time to go. Well, the Chicago Wolves on the board with this deflection by J.P. Vigé just beyond the pad of J.F. Labbe of the Crunch. And that one coming 5:36 into the first period as Andreas Karlsson is ready to square off against the Crunch's Brad Moran. And Karlsson winning this draw. The Penta behind the net. Moran is on him. Karlsson now trying to spin away from pressure by Darsh, and Darsh was close to getting a pickoff there. Rob Brown will wrap it back around. Heward should be the first one to step up for the Crunch. And Heward trying to get around a man. He lost the puck, and look out. The Wolves wanted to come back the other way. Good steal by Moran. Heward to Darsh. Wanting to put it in the slot. Nobody home yet. Sent a shot toward the net. That one off the skate of DePenta. Now it'll be Ling to pick up for the Crunch. Ling off the backhand. Throw it behind the net. Moran will chase to the far wall. Now Darsh again with Karlsson all over him. Trying to get position. Ling now with plenty of pressure. Puck to the blue line. Not out. Not yet. Here's Nardella. He will carry it up and then shovel that one in on Labbe. That'll wave off any icing and allow the Wolves to make a line change.
Yeah, despite all that time in the attack zone, unfortunately, Syracuse unable to get a shot on net. So far, Chicago doing a good job at limiting those shots on even.
Shrupko with a clearing attempt, knocked down by McKenzie. Talasakins going to send the puck to the far corner. And there is Camille Piroche. Ben Simon over there as well. Simon trying to bring the puck out. He does, and he gets a full dose of Andrei Shrupko. Simon still able to keep his position and carry. And now Heward will chase behind the net. Heward going to try to pull up, play it around McKenzie. Ling can't drag it free along the wall, but Moran can to force the Wolves back to center ice.
You see early in this contest, again, Chicago more than doubling the shot output by the Crunch.
Shrupko will set up inside of his own zone again. He's going to get pressure, and he'll get it quickly. Ling now trying to tip the puck out of the zone. Guarded Exelby. Kept it in, and a nice steal from behind by J.P. Vigé on David Ling. Vigé trying to feed Snyder, but the Crunch stays with it. Again, they will ice the puck, but again, that's the only option that they had remaining to them.
You know, and again, when Chicago's in that offensive zone, you just see that they're putting the pressure on a little bit more fiercely, shall we say, and forcing Syracuse to fire that puck all the way down the ice. There you see the hero of the last game, and again, John Anderson, the coach of Chicago, very pleased with his performance so far, his team's performance. See 4-2 when scoring the first during the playoffs, but let us be reminded about that game too where Vigé got the first goal, and that was the only goal Chicago managed as Syracuse beat him 3-1.
Nielsen will take the draw, and he goes up against Snyder. This one won by the Wolves. Kirill Safronov has traffic in front. He'll skate it in deep, and there's a shot, and there was a penalty that was coming before the shot. It's going to be an interference call. Goaltender interference, I would imagine, as Labbe was already lying on the ice, and that means the Crunch gets another power play chance.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Schneider's going to get the call on that one, too, and Labbe got hit and then did a little extra cell job, too, when he went down on the ice. It was quite obvious it was going to be goaltender interference, but Chicago nonetheless shoots the puck in the net. That goal waved off, and Syracuse goes on the power play now, trailing by a 1-0 score.
There you see Dan Snyder. He's been a scoring force in this series. Right now, he'll take a seat for 2 minutes, and the Crunch hoping to capitalize on this. Down by the score of 1-0.
Snyder with a couple of game-winning goals in this series already.
Face-off controlled by the Wolves, and Aikens will send a long shot wide at the Crunch net. In fact, the puck's on the back of the net. Labbe takes it off of there to allow his power play unit to set up. Crunch is 0 for 1 with a man advantage tonight. Nielsen sending it into the Chicago zone. Neterost has position on Guy LaRose. Dallas Aikens on the far side. Moving around, held by Walzer at the right point. Walzer going to play it to Neterost on the half boards. Now it's Nielsen. Back to Neterost. Almost lost control. He stayed with it. I don't think Andre was looking for that, and he sure wasn't looking to make that pass, and that's going to be a regrouping for the Crunch in their own zone.
Yeah, and that's going to get that pairing off the ice and a couple more guys back on.
Walzer carries it again, pulls up, nice dish to Doobie Westcott. Westcott play it in. Nermanen couldn't slow it down. Comes over to Moran. Moran holding, but he has plenty of pressure. Boy, the Wolves are putting the pressure on. This is the way they played in Chicago. And they are all over the Crunch. They're smothering the Crunch at this point.
Yeah, not only in the Crunch's offensive zone, but you see Vigé peeling all the way back, too.
Here's Darsh playing it in, bouncing off the glass. Nermanen will hold on.
That's interesting. Now, if we could take a moment, the way that puck bounced into the zone kind of awkwardly off the glass, Chicago's made quite a bit out of the fact that this ice surface is a lot smaller than what you'll see in Chicago and some of the former IHL cities. They say the adjustment to the quirkiness off the boards and the smaller ice surface is taking them some time, hence the reason why Syracuse has had such a nice home ice advantage. I mean, thinks they'll find something to complain about in this case. But, granted, if you're dealing with a smaller ice surface, smaller zones to pass through and move your way through, that certainly is a factor in this game.
Moran winning this draw. Heward, good shot, score! David Ling had position, and he tips it into the net over top of Passy Nermanen, and the Crunch has a 1-1 tie on their hands. How do you like me now?
Now, quite often, when you're talking about a tip-in goal, it goes off the blade of the stick. But when we have this replay queued up, you'll see it doesn't go off the blade. It goes off the shaft of the stick. In fact, you can actually hear the tick. So Crunch win the draw. Good job by Moran to win the draw. You see the slap shot by Heward, actually a little wrister, and Ling gets the shaft of the stick on that puck. It goes past Nermanen. And right there, Syracuse ties things up at 1 with a power play goal.
And you see, Heward found him. He was looking for him. He found it. And now the puck is chipped up over the glass and out of play. So David Ling comes up with another huge goal, his 4th of the postseason.
He had 2 in that last game, and we were mentioning, by the way, as you take a look at J.F. Labbe, Shrubko and Lassard exchanging words there too. You mentioned Lassard, kind of the tough guy on the ice here. So far, things have been clean. Syracuse is not going to be backing down from any physical stuff, and you see Ling there in the playoffs, 5 goals, 5 assists, 3 goals in his last 2 games, and Ling has really come alive in good positioning down low, and that gives Syracuse the tying goal.
Lassard is going to go after Shrubko. I think that the Wolves think that they have a weakness in Shrubko, that they can get his temper over the boiling point and get him to make some mistakes. As the Crunch is going to be able to clear the zone, Ling will chase for the loose puck. Won't get it. He is slowed down by Nardella. Lassard playing for the first time in 10 games. Remember that. Francis Lassard. He's a tough guy, yes. Not exactly a scorer, not a finesse player. He bangs one around to the near side. Heward has to step up, try to force it in deep. Malte got a piece of that. Darsh having his stick lifted as Nardella had his stick held onto by Matthew Darsh, and now Heward will pick it up in the neutral zone. Shrubko, nice little touch around a man, and we've got a whistle. It's going to be an offside call on the part of Syracuse.
You mentioned Lassard being a tough guy, 330 penalty minutes this season, and yeah, he had that 10-game suspension, so he didn't even play a full season, and nonetheless spent a lot of it in the penalty box. And something tells me, as you said, Bob, before the night's through, probably going to see him back in the box too, and Shrubko will likely be the guy he lines up.
He started the year with the Philadelphia Phantoms. In games that the Crunch played the Phantoms without Jody Shelley, without a bona fide tough guy, Lassard was, for the most part, he was held as a non-factor. That's what the Crunch needs him to be tonight, is a non-factor.
Yeah, in fact, the fans would like to take him out of this game as well, and you can see they're very much into this contest. Good crowd on hand tonight.
Preston Mitzi taking the face-off against Derek McKenzie. No, he's not. He just got waved out. Either Schill or Paraluk will step in. It'll be Jonathan Schill. There's a good look at Preston Mitzi. He's been important in this series. He's been important in the playoffs. The Crunch didn't think that he'd be playing here in the postseason. They thought it'd be in Dayton in the East Coast Hockey League, which he was at the start. And after Blake Belfay went down with an injury, Mitzi was called up.
Yeah, and quality shifts, too. I know in the playoffs, every shift has to be a quality shift, but he's really come through.
Here's Pirro with a pass from McKenzie. McKenzie fortunately couldn't hold on to that puck. I'll tell you, the Wolves have a game plan right there, and that's to spring a man free, and they almost did it. Tapper looking for Pirro. He couldn't control. Paraluk will bring it back the other way. Marty Paraluk with a shot right into the body of Kirill Safronov. And Safronov taken to the back of the net by John Schill. And Schill takes him all the way to the far corner and puts a whack on it. Paraluk skating through a little bit of traffic. He'll touch the puck from Mitzi. Mitzi throw it in front. Schill with a shot. The save is made. And Nermanen able to hold on to that one. They'll actually call that a hand pass before all was said and done. And now it's Jonathan Schill getting into a pushing and shoving match with Mike Weaver. And here's Brad Moran. And actually, that was Jeremy Reach. He was important on Sunday. Crunch needs everybody tonight. We're all tied at 1 in the first. There's a good look at the Crunch bench, and Gary Agnew is all business, and he will be throughout the course of this game. And this is why. The Crunch outscoring the Wolves 13-2 in this series here at the War Memorial. The building has been very friendly. Tonight, we are deadlocked at 1 in the first period. Jonathan Schill is in the penalty box for the Crunch.
And again, as we mentioned before, I mean, Chicago has been trying to pepper Labbe with shots. You mentioned the game plan trying to spring someone on this power play. I expect you're going to see a barrage of shots.
Here come the Wolves, losing control of the puck. Crunch couldn't get to it, though. And now it's Davidson on the near side. Scoville is on him. A lot of pushing and shoving going on. Snyder comes out with a puck. Snyder putting it out to Nardella. Big shot. Save is made. Rebound. That is free. Scoville has it, and he'll turn it down the ice off the backhand.
Hey, check out the number of bodies in front of J.F. Labbe, and a lot of pushing and shoving down there, but a good job by the Crunch defense.
And they're going to go there all night, are the Wolves, especially if they wind up getting behind in this game. Whoever gets behind is going to let it all hang out. Snyder forced off sides, and a good play by the Crunch. They stacked everybody at the blue line.
And that might be their best bet tonight, because you're going to have to keep those speedy Chicago forwards from gaining a foothold inside the attack zone. Check out this last save through a lot of traffic. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bodies around you. A lot of mass, you might say, but Labbe is able to see his way through it, make the save, and he's got 8 saves in this contest already. Chicago throwing 9 shots at him here in the first period.
They'll send these forwards to the net as the Crunch wins the faceoff, because it's Malte out with Pirosh and Carlson. Rob Brown's going to work the point on this power play. They also work the far wall. Bob Nardella, offensive-minded, carries the puck, and Carlson will send it in. Labbe hustling behind the net, going to leave it for Jamie Heward. He's got it on the forehand, play it around and out. Now the race is on. Moran just going to make Nerman come out and play the puck, which is all that he can do. Carlson trying to turn it around quickly. Andreas Carlson, left wing side for Steve Malte. Drop it back for Carlson as the Wolves will have an attempt to set it up here. Pirosh behind the net. Move it over to Brown. Nardella, center point. Brown will not take the shot to try to get Malte free in front. Instead it comes over. Oh, what a play by Ling! JF's got to get up. Here's the shot to score. JF did not have a stick in his hand. Nardella beats him from the top of the slot, and the power play goal has put the Wolves back on top 2-1.
You know, and Labbe's claiming that Malte somehow grabbed his stick or prevented him from getting it, but he's not going to win that argument, as again, a lot of traffic in front of Labbe, and you're going to see Malte's the guy who's actually in the crease there. Yeah, and he is all over Labbe, and just a matter of, does he get out? Does somebody keep him from getting out? You see the stick on the ice, you see Malte on the stick, and that puck get by Labbe, and a 2-1 advantage now for Chicago, as you see Nardella getting credit for the goal. His first of the playoffs, and a power play goal at that for Chicago as they regain the lead.
Well, everybody going to the net. They had 5 forwards on the ice. They were all in front.
And the most important guy was the guy who was sitting on J.F. Labbe's stick.
Crunch forcing a turnover. Cummings is on for the first time tonight. There's a penalty. It's against the Wolves.
Well, you know that the retaliatory stuff is going to be called in this one, so you just can't allow yourself to be lured into it. But that's exactly what happens by Ben Simon, as Simon goes off, and high sticking is going to be the call. And check this out again. On the ice is Malte, and he's in the crease, and he's on Labbe's stick. Labbe has, really nowhere to go with that. All he can hope is that he has somehow to reach that puck or get his waffle iron pad on it, but he's unable to do so. Nardella gets the goal. And again, just by a stack in that area in front of the net, the Wolves are able to get their second goal of the game.
Ben Simon is in the penalty box for high sticking. Crunch on the power play tonight is 1 out of 2. And so are the Wolves. Brad Moran taking the face-off against Guy Laroste. Heward lines up with a puck. Nice pass to David Ling. Big shot deflected off the body. Rebound to Moran. His shot goes wide. Didn't have a chance to settle it down. Ling holding at the blue line. David walks in. Shot goes off the stick up into the crowd and winds up. Well, you see David Ling has a game plan, especially after scoring 2 goals in the last game. Shoot that thing and try to go upstairs.
Yeah, and that was, we talked about him during the last game too, about his philosophy on that. Nermanen's a guy that obviously has shown he can be beaten, especially up top. That's how Ling got those 2 goals. And I love his slap shot. I just think he can go from any side. He goes, goes high, goes low, and obviously has done some damage here in the playoffs.
Chicago scrambling to get the puck. Good job by Moran. He rushes in and pulls it free. Moran takes a hit from Exelby. David Ling has got the puck. Crunch on the power play here. Ling off the backhand. Couldn't find Darsh, and now it is cleared by McKenzie. Minute and 27 seconds to go on the power play chance. Walzer, dangerous pass, but he got it to Moran. Moran rink wide. It's tipped in by Heward. Dropped right back for the Wolves, and McKenzie will clear it. Chicago with a 2-1 lead here. Under 7 minutes to play in the first period. Game 7, the deciding game of the Western Conference semifinals. Walser faked the slap shot. Darsh bit on it, and he came in offside.
You know, and interesting to note in this contest, too, you talked about, any potential jitters. Well, as far as Syracuse is concerned, certainly doesn't seem like it. We haven't seen any bad mistakes in this one. Certainly Gary Agnew's got this game plan well figured out. They've seen Chicago for the last 6 games, so even though they haven't played them all season long, by now they certainly know what quirks this team has and what strengths it has and what few weaknesses it has too.
Out of 1 minute on the power plays. The Wolves will force the Crunch back into their own end. Jeremy Reach out on the power play here for the Crunch. Reach going to carry it in over the blue line. Send it along the end boards to Penta. Whip it around. Walser able to hold. Good feed to Nielsen. Turn it over to Davidson. Wolves are forcing the Crunch around the perimeter. The Wolves have come to play a little bit more of a physical game tonight as well.
Yeah, I think they showed up tonight.
Here's Ewart holding, shooting, and that one deflected wide. Reach gets his stick free. Backhanded shot denied by Pasi Nurminen. Loose puck lying there, and it's going to be cleared by the Wolves. 25 seconds to go in the man advantage. Labbe not going to make the pass. You saw Dan Snyder just kind of laying back, ready to step up into the passing lane. So he'll let Walser carry things. Walser, nice little flip pass to Ewart. And it's offsides. Nielsen couldn't toe the line.
Well, as far as mistakes, last 2 times trying to get into the offensive zone, Syracuse carrying in offsides, and certainly don't want to see that on a power play. I'd like to see them get some kind of sustained effort on Nurminen as well. And there you see J.F. Labbe, a guy who has certainly been in the playoffs many times before. Guy's had a lot of playoff success. That shutout in the last contest, that 6-0 victory a couple of nights ago.
Go with the puck from the draw. Plays it in. Paraluk chasing. Dealing with Rob Brown. Power play is now over. And the Crunch is facing a full and even strength situation, and they're offsides again.
Boy.
Well, the Crunch was unable to put it together on that power play. Long time to go. They're down by 1. Back to action as the Crunch is trailing the Chicago Wolves. 2-1 is the score. Shrupko unable to move that truck or move the puck through traffic. And so it'll be Moran that has to force it in. He's betting that Darsh can get there first, and he is right. Wave off the icing. Back to the near side. Malte has the puck in his legs. Somebody's got to hit him. Moran does. Ling at the near point. Fired out to the far corner. Darsh chasing. Darsh had position. Lassard then took him off the puck. Rob Brown put it up to Malte. Malte dancing around Shrupko, but he held him up long enough for Doobie Westcott to come back and make the play that he needed to make.
Just put enough lumber on him to slow him down, too. A lot of stick work taking place out there, and we're not talking about stick work around the puck, but around the pads and around the wrists, too.
Westcott lifting the puck high in the air. He'll bounce it into the Chicago zone. Garnet Exelby to settle it down, trying to catch the Crunch in a line change. Malte plays it in deep. Orjensky getting there off the backhand. He moves it to Davidson. Davidson couldn't hold on. Here's Exelby. Big shot deflected on the way in. Labbe looking. Labbe found it. He's got to get back on his skates, though. Exelby, big shot score. Garnet Exelby. And that one may have been deflected in front as well by the Chicago Wolves.
And as we said, just a lot of traffic in front of Labbe, and they're throwing a lot of shots at him. That's the 14th shot on goal thrown at Labbe tonight. And you're going to see, again, just coming at him from all angles. And there's a lot of traffic in front. You can see they're looking for a tip-in on that particular play with Snyder out in front. And eventually Exelby's the one who's going to knock that puck in. And you take one more look at it. Number 2, Exelby from the point, just rips that shot. You see some traffic in there. It looks like it may have gone off a stick. And Snyder may have gotten credit for that goal. We'll have to wait and see regardless. A 3-1 advantage now for the Wolves. And in fact, Snyder will get credit for that as he's able to get a stick or a skate on it, redirected by Labbe. So 2 of the 3 goals tonight on J.F. Labbe have been from redirected shots. And 11 playoff points for Dan Schneider. A couple of game winners, and right there a goal to give a little breathing room to Chicago.
All right, well, the Crunch needs a little energy. Preston Mitzi's on the ice right now. And Dallas Aikens passing off the far boards. Looking for Pirosh, and who will get there first? Pirosh does. Cummings trying to take him out. Ben Simon on the ice. Man is on him. Pirosh with a puck. Cummings trying to size him up. Puck out to Exelby. Mitzi couldn't tip it around him. Loose puck. Labbe will come out and dive on it.
Yeah, and you can see the frustration, too, on J.F. Labbe, just the way he wings that puck into the corner. And he wants his defense to get rid of that puck, and that's what's hurt him. And in the games that Syracuse has played in this building, they've had success, and they've been able to get the puck out of the zone after maybe one shot or so. If Labbe's having come out of the net that much to cover up, you know he is having a tough time of it. Not in terms of his own abilities tonight, but just in terms of, you know, his defense that's closing in around him.
JF, it's not fair to say he struggled tonight. The only thing he struggled in is seeing the puck because the Wolves have had so much traffic in front. And there's a penalty upcoming on Rob Brown. He took down David Ling. The Crunch will be on a power play.
Boy, and that's the second penalty that's been called on Chicago tonight, in which David Ling was able to, shall we say, draw his man into a penalty. Ling very good at doing just that. So interference is the call. Brown goes off. Syracuse goes on the power play, and you don't want to say this is a power play where you really need to get a goal, but you'd hate to go into the locker room trailing by 2 after 1 period, and that's the way it looks right now.
Well, there's no doubt about that. The Crunch has got to start to swing some momentum back. They've pretty much got to get the next goal in this game because the Wolves can really go into a defensive mindset, into a shutdown kind of a phase.
Hasn't been the kind of first period that Gary Agnew would like. I'm sure John Anderson pleased with the way his team has played, but you know, we saw a lot of offsides just a few moments ago, and Pirosh beating his man down the ice to negate that icing before. So certainly the jump right now in the step of the Chicago Wolves.
1 for 3, the Crunch on the power play tonight. 4 minutes to go in the opening period of play. Jamie Heward. Heward wants to play it in. Darce following up the play. Good job by him, but now the Wolves are going to take it away and clear it. That was a mistake right from the get-go. Heward had his stick lifted at the blue line and never really brought it in over the line the way he wanted to. Walser now from the red line. Crunch will chase. Heward pinching in. Off the backhand. Finding the loose puck. Shoot! Save is made. Rebound in front. That one goes wide. Moran sending it off the near wall. He's going to bring the defenseman in. That's Walser. Darsh didn't know the puck was right there. The Wolves do, and they clear it. Trying to get Wally to pinch in for the blue line that time and see if he could get a shot away, but the Wolves had good positioning once again. Heward with Snyder in pursuit, passing to Walser, or to Scoville, coughed it up. Heward gets it back, thankfully, on a bad shot by McKenzie. Now over to the far side. The Crunch making some mistakes right here, and unable to get the puck out of their own zone, even though they're on the power play. Heward. Put it now to Moran. Comes back near side. Got by everybody. And look out. Dan Snyder. Don't let him get in by himself. Trying to drag the puck around. Heward didn't go. Exelby will send it toward the end boards. Heward and Snyder both get there at the same time. Remember, the Crunch is on the power play. And here's Darsh through the neutral zone. Davidson will chase now. Exelby with Davidson in pursuit. Nielsen far side. Got it. Chris Nielsen still holding. Walser. One-timer. He missed the net. Wolves coming out. Looks like they'll get to it. And the diving play by Garnet Exelby to clear the zone.
You know, and this was Syracuse's game plan earlier in this series, was just one shot and get out of the zone, and this is what Chicago's been doing now.
Walser carries in center point. Drop it off for Nielsen. Shooting. The save is made by passing Erman. Man coming out of the penalty box. Look out here as Brown jumps into the play. Simon in left wing side has a man cutting down the right wing side. They tried to drop it off for Rob Brown, and they couldn't connect. Nielsen weaving his way through the neutral zone. In over the blue line, but he lost all support as the Crunch is trying to change it up a bit. Right off the bench is Martin Perluck. He'll intercept that. The Wolves with a 3-1 advantage on the Crunch here in the first period. Bouncing puck toward the blue line. Taken away by the Wolves. Malte to Carlson. Carlson trying to get around Shrutko, who's got a stick into him, and he'll work him over along the near board. Rob Brown stepping in now. Malte's got the puck. Brown is going to circle out toward the slot area, and they try to pass it to him. Good job by Mitzi to knock it away. Lassard into the far boards. Good check by Reach. And now Reach still trying to get the puck free. But the Wolves are all over the Crunch. All over the ice at this point in time. Mitzi knocking that puck down. Lassard trying to wrap him up. Mitzi put it just in over the blue line. This is a good hard working shift by this line though. Mitzi along with Perluck and Reach. And a penalty's upcoming against the Crunch.
Yeah, I knew that was going to come. I mean, it was getting a little bit too physical and a little too hard working for this Crunch line. And as a result, Verlott's going to call a penalty, so Gary Agnew's team's going to be on the penalty kill once again, as Jeremy Reich is going to get the gate. Some sloppy, I don't want to say sloppy play, but you saw it on both ends of the ice, and then things started getting a little bit more physical, and when all's said and done, Reich finds himself in the penalty box. So Wolves are going to finish up the first period here, not only with the lead, but with a man advantage too.
Now for the Chicago Wolves, it'll be their third power play of the game. They are 1 for 2 to this point.
And 2 of our 4 goals have been scored on the power play tonight.
Darsh trying to move that puck in over the Chicago blue line. You got it just over the line as Nardella will drag it behind his own net. Nardella to carry it out. Right wing side he goes to Francis Lassard, who's out on the power play. Borzietsky put a lick onto him. Snyder behind the net. Fired off the far side. Vijay, he might fire that right on net. No, come over to Nardella. Shot goes in. Hits off the body of Scoville. Scoville trying to clear with the help of Moran, and now Darsh will do it. Good movement of the puck with 31 seconds to go in the period. Gutsayev up the left side. Snyder rubbed out by Jamie Heward. Nielsen trying to get to the puck. Heward does first, and down the ice it goes. Nancy Nermanen just steering that over to Bob Nardella as time winds down here in period number 1. The Wolves with a 3-1 advantage over the Crunch. Andreas Karlsson flipping in on Labbe. He'll drop the puck for Heward and let him launch it back down the ice. And by doing so, the period will come to an end. Well, that one belonged to the Chicago Wolves without question. They scored 3 times, every time by sending everybody to the front of the net.
Yeah, and it, just as the case was in Game 6, where Chicago just didn't seem to show up, here in Game 7 in the first period, they definitely showed up and brought their A game with them. A lot of shots on J.F. Labbe, 14 for the Chicago Wolves, and as you say, they go to the locker room after 1 with a 2-goal advantage.
So the Wolves winning the first frame, but there are 2 left to play here at the War Memorial tonight in Game 7 of the Western Conference Semifinal Playoff Series. After 1 period, the Chicago Wolves leading the Syracuse Crunch by the score of 3-1. Game 7, the deciding game of the Western Conference Semifinal Playoff Series. Bob McElligott alongside of Keith Copeland. We're joined right now by Crunch forward Jeremy Reach. And Jeremy, that first period belonged to Chicago. It seems like right now they're just throwing everything they have right in front of J.F. Labbe. Is that the way it looks from the ice standpoint?
Yeah, you know, they had a lot of shots that period, a lot more than we would like to have given them. But, you know, they threw it on net and they got a couple breaks and it went in. But, you know, it's a 60-minute game and that's only 20 minutes.
You know, Jeremy, their coach John Anderson was quoted as saying his team just didn't show up in Game 6. Have you guys really noticed, I mean, obviously there's a difference in the score, I understand that, but have you noticed a difference on the ice in terms of the team you're seeing tonight in the first period and the team you saw in 3 periods just a couple of nights ago?
Yeah, you know, we knew they were going to come out hard, and, you know, they played hard last game, and we got some breaks too, but we got to go out and next 20 minutes and try to weather the storm and get some more shots on net and, you know, try to bang a couple in.
Yeah, speaking of banging, do you feel as though you're banging as many bodies tonight as you did here in Game 6 on Sunday night when it seemed like you were a team on a mission to hit guys like Steve Malte and Rob Brown, maybe some of these older guys?
You know, they're doing a better job tonight in the first period holding up, and we got to find a way to fight through that. And, you know, if they're going to hold us up, we got to keep our feet moving and draw some penalties. So we got to go out and, you know, try to find a way to get through them.
You know, and interesting, and not to say that their goaltender hasn't done a great job, but it doesn't seem as he tends to be the issue right now. I mean, you've obviously proven, especially in that last game, you had some success against him.
Yeah, you know, our power play wasn't really all that well in the first period. We didn't get the puck in the net, and we had some trouble getting in their end. So we got to pick that up. They got a power play goal, and we got to match them.
You know, we're looking at your stats while we're talking to you. 4 goals in the playoffs. You know, throughout the course of the regular season, you went through a couple of injuries. You had only 9 goals in the regular campaign. You've got 4 in the playoffs. What is this playoff edition of Jeremy Reach? How does this come about?
You know, the playoffs, I think I was told from the management, to stay out of the box a little more, and I think that's what I'm doing. I'm being more of an agitator than I was in the regular season in terms of, fighting-wise and stuff. And, I think it's paying off. I've been throwing the puck in the net, and I've been getting some good goals.
Well, Jeremy, hopefully you've got some good goals in you. You and your teammates here for the final 2 periods tonight. Good luck in coming back against this Wolves team this evening.
Thanks a lot.
Jeremy Reach of the Syracuse Crunch. Lots of work to be done. 40 minutes with which to do it, though, as the Crunch is trailing by a 2-goal deficit here at the War Memorial. Here at the War Memorial Add-on Center in the first intermission of tonight's game between the Crunch and the Chicago Wolves, the deciding Game 7 of this Western Conference semifinal series. I'm Bob McElligott, joined by the head coach of the Syracuse Crunch, Gary Agnew. And Gary, tonight in Game 7,
win or lose, this season has been a great one for you. And talk to me about some of the players that have gotten you to this point this season. There have been a ton of them throughout the roster moves that you've had throughout the course of the year. Who are the guys that kind of step up to the forefront in your mind as far as development from day one until today?
Well, as you mentioned, we've had a lot of guys in and out of the lineup all season long, and we've been very fortunate that Columbus have provided a great depth to our hockey club. And when we did suffer injuries and call-ups, we had a lot of guys step in. But guys that come to mind, I guess, that you didn't expect. I mean, we could talk about Sean Pronger and Derek Walzer and Darryl Scoville and those guys, but certainly a guy like Blake Belfay, I thought, stepped up real big time this year and really improved as the season wore on, and I thought had a tremendous 2 or 3 months around the end, and then was starting to have a great playoff and unfortunately was injured. A guy like Kent McDonnell, who started to put the puck in the net in the second half of the season, did a tremendous job. Skating improved. He's a guy that plays physical and was able to really come in and contribute when we needed those right wingers to step up. You look at the guys from Dayton, Preston Mizzy has come in and fit in like a glove and done a great job. Brian Cummings has come in and rocked a few people. We've just been fortunate that we've been able to bring guys in, and they've all done a real good job. And you know what? That's a credit to some of our leaders in the room. David Ling, and we mentioned Pronger and Matthew Darsh and Matt Davidson. All these guys welcomed these guys in and really gave them feel comfortable type of look and allowed them to contribute to our team.
Since you had to go through so many players during the regular season, how much has that helped you in the playoffs go through the injury bugs that you have in the postseason? Again, you're constantly rotating your roster, but again, you're still getting good positive results.
Well, when you look at the team and that November that we had that we really struggled, we had a lot of guys that were put in roles that probably wouldn't have had a chance to play in had we not had the injuries and call-ups, and I think that helped our team. I think in the tail end of the season, the last month of the season, when we were calling guys up, when Columbus were going through some injuries, we had people step in and do a real good job, and that's allowed them now, when we have the injuries, to Belfay and Pronger and McDonnell, to step in and contribute. And we're going to see it again tonight. We're going to see guys step in and hopefully lead us on to victory here.
Speaking of Game 7s, this is your first year as a professional hockey coach in a Game 7. In junior hockey, you were in them several times. What can you tell us about a Game 7?
Well, I can't tell you very much. Anything can happen out there. I've been on both sides of the equation. I've been blown out in a Game 7. I've blown a team out in the Game 7. We've had some tight battles. So I think the best thing you can do is expect the unexpected. Anything could happen. I think both teams are sort of going to go out with this heavyweight type of attitude, feeling each other out firstly. And it's going to be very tight check-in. Nobody's going to give up an inch. And I know our team is committed to that, and the work ethic will be there. So I think it's going to come down to special teams and goaltending.
And maybe this building as well.
Well, the building's been great to us, certainly throughout the playoffs and even during the regular season. The fans give us a real boost, and we're hoping that that's going to happen tonight. We've had sparse crowds at times, 3,000 and 4,000, but they sounded like they're 10,000 in here. So, they had the good chance going the other night, the goal crunch goal, and see it Tuesday, and it really picks the guys up, and particularly scoring the first goal really helped us.
All right, Gary, well, thanks, and best of luck the rest of the way here tonight.
My pleasure, Bob. Thanks.
Gary Agnew, the head coach of the Syracuse Crunch, will be back with more from the War Memorial at On Center as Crunch playoff hockey continues on Time Warner 13 Sports. Crunch needing to overcome a 2-goal deficit with 40 minutes left in which to do it. Here at the War Memorial, Bob McElligott alongside of Keith Copeland. Once again, a lot of scoring in this first period. A lot more than we've seen in this building, actually, unless you count what the Crunch has done. But the Wolves, they've got it going tonight.
Yeah, and especially in light of the fact they only scored 1 goal against JF Labbe in this building. I mean, 94 shots. They just didn't have any luck on it. But tonight, so far in the first, they did. In fact, 5 minutes into it, it didn't take that long. You're going to see Vijay cutting across here. A lot of good work behind the net, and they're throwing a lot of stuff at JF Labbe here, and eventually you're going to see Vijay tip it in as we see a shot from the corner. Vijay gets a stick on it, little backhand there. That gets by Labbe. That's our first goal of the game, and that gives Chicago a 1-0 advantage. And again, Bob, we said throwing a lot of stuff at Labbe tonight.
Well, Jamie Heward able to come back with David Ling for the Crunch on the power play. You see Heward spotted Ling. He tips it in. And that tied the game at 1. At that point, the Crunch was right back in business before the Wolves gave them some more business.
Yeah, power play goal here, an answering goal. Nardella is going to get credit for it. Malte should get partial credit because he's laying on JF Labbe's stick there. Nardella takes the slapper from the top of the slot area, and that gives him a 2-1 advantage. And then just a few minutes later, Snyder answers once again.
And you see the Crunch making the initial stop again. They can't clear the puck away from Labbe. That's the difference. And Garnett Ixelby's shot tipped in by Snyder. So a couple of tip-ins.
and one big blast with another man laying on top of the goaltender. So there are your statistics. The shots on goal, they favor the Wolves, and also the power plays. 1 for 2, the Wolves are. The Crunch is 1 for 4. The Wolves will be on a power play here to start the second period, and the penalties relatively even. But, you know, the bottom line is the Crunch has got to throw traffic now at Passy Nerman. They've got to find a way to score 2 goals. You cannot get down by 3 goals against the Chicago Wolves team in a game like tonight.
Right.
In a playoff game, and expect to come back and win, home or not at home.
Nerman is a guy that we've shown can be beaten in these cases. He's certainly not a goaltender you can't get the puck by, but I think the Crunch are going to have to employ a lot of the tactics that have been employed by Chicago up until this point. Throw everything at him. They're going to have to throw everything at this guy in order to get back into this contest.
And remember, that's what the Crunch did on Sunday night. When they got their 6 goals, they crashed the net. They threw it at the Wolves. They've got to do that starting in period number 2. And that's what we've got for you coming up next on Time Warner 13 Sports. Getting ready to start the second period of play here in Syracuse tonight. The Chicago Wolves, not only with a 3-1 lead, but they do have a power play thanks to Jeremy Reach picking up a roughing call near the end of period number 1. So it'll be 55 seconds worth of power play time. And we'll take a look at J.F. Labbe. He's been beaten 3 times in this game. And coming into the game, the Chicago Wolves had only scored 1 time on him here in Syracuse. So they have tripled their what's the word I'm looking
Output.
for? Output. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
There's the power play. 5-1 in the playoffs when they score a power play goal, and they've done it tonight. John Anderson has his team ready to go. That's very obvious. They're ready for a Game 7.
You know, but how much do you think is John Anderson, and how much is just the the makeup of this team? A bunch of guys who've been there before, and certainly some talented youth as well. I know obviously a coach has a lot to do at this level, but if these guys can't get up for it and start concentrating and get into their game like a guy like Nardella, then they certainly don't deserve to be at this level of hockey.
Bob McElligott alongside of Keith Copeland. The deciding 7th game of the Western Conference semifinal at the War Memorial at On Center tonight. And the Chicago Wolves on the power play as Bob Nardella puts that puck inside of the Crunch zone. Daryl Scoville with Camille Pirosh on him. Couldn't do anything with the puck. Adam Borzianski, the former Chicago Wolf, has a chance to. And with the help of Chris Nielsen, the Wolves will go all the way back into their own end.
Now, first things first, got to kill this power play off and then get working at getting another goal here. You got to cut into this lead and certainly not get lulled into Chicago's way of playing.
Carlson will back it up. Nardella is the man that runs the power play. That's why they try to get him the puck, and they have. And a pass ahead to Rob Brown, trying to sneak behind the defense as he does so often. Malte along the end boards, over to Brown now. Under 10 seconds to go on the power play. What a save by Labbe! Wow. Oh my goodness, you want to talk about a game momentum shifting save. That might be it right there.
Yeah, Pirosh down low, and Labbe doing a great job to kick that right pad out and deny him from point blank range.
So we are back to full and even strength in the Crunch, looking to set up the forecheck, and they do. Dallas Aikens with a pass off the skates of Rob Brown. Jamie Heward wants to get it back to the blue line. They'll have to try it again. Shrupko to Ling. Ling will get a chance to start the rush and just send it in. That one going to go over the glass and out of play. That puck caught right at the top of the dasher boards, and that's what sent it straight up in the air.
As J.F. Labbe catches himself a little bit of a breather. 15 shots on net by Chicago tonight. And you really can't fault Labbe for the goals that have been scored against him because they've come on redirected pucks. And you can see right there, Pirosh, one of their dangerous forwards, left wide open in front. A good job to get him the puck, but an even better job by Labbe to make that save.
They put that goal in. They pretty much, they don't win the game, obviously, but they really take a lot of the wind out of the sails of the Crunch going up by 3. Darsh tipping the puck inside of the Chicago zone. Garnet Exelby will get there. Exelby circling behind his own net. Darsh all over him. Had the turnover forced, but Dallas Aikens was in on the play too. And they're going to force him to throw the puck down, and he puts it on Labbe. That means no icing. Shrupko leave it for Heward, and now Vijay is going to play onto him. Shrupko, nice job to wrap it around. Darsh kick it over to Moran. Leave from Matthew Darsh. The Wolves sniff that one out. And now Snyder looks for Vijay. Vijay to Butsayev, and that one's turned aside by J.F. Labbe. Matthew Darsh is playing hard here tonight.
Yeah, sure is. The kind of game you come to expect from Darcy, too.
Here's Ling trying to get position. Takes his man out of the play. The puck to the blue line. Walser stepping up. Dishing off the backhand to Ling on the near side.
Ling holding, trying to go into the right wing circle. That one picked off, and here come the Wolves. Snyder has two men on the left side. Snyder pulling up, shooting, and that hit the traffic. Good sign of going down. Trainer just knocks him right off of the puck, and Moran will take it back the other way. Well, you'll see the Crunch take some chances here. They're down by 2 goals, and you got to open it up a little bit and try to get some scoring. That's why Ling threw that long pass. Speaking of long passes, that one was too long by the Wolves. It's over 2 lines.
And it was a nice job, too, by Walser, because he fed that puck to wide open ice. It wasn't as if he was looking to feed it to any particular player, but he went to a point in the ice where he thought Ling would be. And Ling, again, as you see right there, Walser doing a good job in feeding that pass over there and giving Ling a scoring opportunity. Walser, a guy who they counted on all season long, not only for his defensive abilities, but his offensive output.
Indeed, he led the team in scoring throughout the course of the year, so he's obviously very important. As the puck goes to the end boards, Labbe moving around Ben Simon. Neteros will chop it, but not out. Lassard with a long shot. Labbe makes sure that one's not on net, and then Simon misses the net. Lassard again, force it in deep. McKenzie chips it over the glass.
And you can just see, again, they're throwing it. If any chance they get, they're going to throw it at Labbe. That's the MO in this game tonight.
Nermanen trying to stop the puck behind the net. Has to come out and play it away from Neteros. And Mitzi chopping it in. Neteros now tied up on the near boards. Perla takes a bump. And then Mitzi gets tackled by Ben Simon. Then Simon takes a dive trying to get a penalty, and he doesn't get one call. Ben Simon, he's quite a show out there. Borzianski with the puck. Nice move to feed Preston Mitzi. Mitzi couldn't put it in deep. The Wolves turn it right back out. Wolves are swarming the Crunch right now, and they're offside. Sorry, the Syracuse Crunch.
Yeah, they're really coming at him from all angles. And this was the Crunch game plan in the first couple of contests. As we said before, Gary Agnew was having his players just draping the forwards for Chicago and not giving them any open ice to get those shots off or stick handle. And you can see tonight that Chicago just seems to have a little bit more energy. They get to the puck a little bit faster, and certainly, as you mentioned, Bob, they have just draped any Crunch puck handler.
Rob Brown and Jeremy Reach trading pleasantries as the Crunch wins the draw. Plays the puck in deep. Mike Weaver will get there first. Nielsen looking for him. He got the lick on him, but the pass was already made. It's a 3-on-2 now for Chicago. Rob Brown shooting. Labbe with a save, and the puck drops, and it goes into the net. And it's a 4-1 advantage for Chicago.
Tell you what, when you have goals like that scored, you kind of wonder if you are going to be cursed from the start. I mean, Labbe makes this save, and it goes up and over and bounces behind him and then into the net. So let's take a look once again. That's a shot Labbe makes the initial save on. It goes up, but there's just no way for Labbe to get back and to a back skate and get on that puck. And once again, there you go. Puck up, puck down, puck behind him, and that is the 4th Chicago goal of the night.
Now the Crunch scored 6 in game number 6. We're going to have to score a ton here today. Brown getting his 3rd of the postseason. And the Crunch down by 3. Inside of the Chicago end. Puck right in the slot area. Moran didn't get a shot away. And Exelby is going to pick it up. Back through the neutral zone it comes. Shrutko to Moran. There is a lot of time to play here. Keep that in mind. Plenty of time to score 3 goals. Simon in on the right wing side. Got a couple of trailers, so Shrutko forces him wide. Labbe stopped that man free in front. That's LaRose trying to put it by Labbe, and it didn't go.
And you see Simon crashing in there after the whistle and will skate away. So even after that puck is stopped by Labbe, they are going to be throwing bodies at him and just about everything else. And you see a good backhanded shot from a sharp angle. Labbe is able to make the save on LaRose right down there, and then Labbe finally able to cover up. But again, Chicago putting it from all odd angles on JF Labbe tonight.
And a lot of different people doing it too.
Yeah. I mean, when you got a guy like Lassard that only had, 3 goals the entire season, taking shots from the point like he was before, everybody wants to get in on the action.
See, the Wolves are leading in the face-off category again. The Crunch was good at winning face-offs on Saturday or on Sunday. And the Wolves have come back and they've led in that today. But the important thing is leading on the scoreboard, and they do by 3. Those shot totals, the Crunch not even in double digits yet.
Moran floats one ahead. That one goes by everybody. Davidson trying to get a stick on it. Icing is waved off here. And the Crunch unable to get to the loose puck.
Yeah, not only not in double digits, Bob, they haven't managed a shot on goal here in the second period. We've played more than 5 minutes.
Scoville trying to come through the neutral zone. Losing control. He'll backhand the puck in deeper. Nardella will chase. And Matt Davidson pulled up. Didn't give him a good clean lick. Orzhenski sending the puck to the end boards. Comes near side. Nielsen there, but the Wolves are going to get it out, and the Crunch is going to be guilty of the penalty. And Scoville comes back and he touches up.
Yeah, it certainly isn't the way that you're going to get back into this contest, and it's not going to come all in one full swoop. It's obviously going to come one goal at a time, but it gets that much more difficult to do it on the short-handed situation. But a penalty there taken by Syracuse, as you see Adam Orzhenski going off. And Chicago goes on the power play once again, already with a power play goal in this contest. And a 3-goal advantage right now on Syracuse.
Well, you know what the Wolves have done, too? They've taken the crowd out of the game.
Yep.
4-1 advantage.
You know, really, every aspect of the game plan that I'm sure that they put together to counter Gary Agnew's team here was, has worked. Throw a lot of shots at Labbe. Certainly you get those goals early, and that has the effect of taking the crowd out of the game. And, now it's going to be up to Syracuse just not to get lulled in the Chicago style of play, with Chicago sitting on a very comfortable lead.
Carlson with the puck, and the Crunch had the opportunity to clear the zone. All the bounces right now, as you see that one, they're going in the favor of the Chicago Wolves. Moran able to make a steal, and he couldn't feed Matthew Darsh as Carlson broke that up. Nardella to Rob Brown. Trainer is on him. Brown gets it in deep. Dewey Westcott chance to clear. Nardella holds. Send it back to Brown. A lot of good passing here by the Wolves, and Labbe says, give me that.
Yeah, that went off Trainer's stick. Actually redirected into Labbe.
Well, it's been a tough night for JF.
Yeah, that last goal, probably the one that obviously wants all of them back. I know you say that, but that last one where he was able to make the save and the puck kind of rode up on him and then went over his shoulder. And again, when Labbe is on and things are working for Syracuse, those are the types of pucks that he manages to dive on and get them out of the net before they go in. But when things aren't going your way, that kind of stuff obviously happens.
Another win of a face-off by Chicago. Rob Brown, Camille Pirosh, back out to Carlson. Malte is set up in front of the net. Carlson off the back end. Trying to find a man back door, and there's a score. That one went off the skate, and it goes in the net. That's a power play goal, and the Chicago Wolves are in cruise control.
Yeah, and they have done everything they have needed to do, and I see Greg Gardner now going back to the locker room to get his helmet, and I'm wondering if we're going to see a goaltending change here, Bob, which, you look at it, shots on goal, 21-9 in favor of Chicago. You see that goal scored right there, and just a little kind of excuse me play. And at 13:52, Gary Agnew says, no way, you're not coming out. You're staying in. And the crowd appreciates that, too. A 5-goal output by the Wolves tonight and a 5-1 advantage.
And Nardella getting the goal. Andreas Carlson getting another assist. Rob Brown with another point as well. Well, for the Wolves, all they got to do is play defense the rest of the way. They're up by 4.
And for the Crunch, let's remember, this is Game 7, so, it's time to let it all hang out.
Nurminen, bad pass. Mitzi will pick that off, send it in the slot, nobody home. Neteros trying to complete a steal. Can't do it. Wolves have the puck. To the far boards it goes. Mitzi, hold it, try to shoot it toward the net. Mike Weaver knocked it down. Balls are at the blue line. Big shot. Save made Nurminen.
Now that's a start. First shot on goal here in the second period. And it takes just about 7 minutes for Syracuse to get it. But again, they threw a lot at him, and that puck too.
So for the Chicago Wolves, everything going in their favor tonight. They have a big lead in the second. Well, the man that got him here hasn't been able to keep them in it tonight. 5-1. Chicago has the lead. And Ling trying to leave the puck for Brad Moran. Garnet Exelby will beat him to it. And it's picked up by Matthew Darsh. Looking for David Ling. And that one broken up by Dallas Aiken. Darsh taken down. Dan Snyder ahead to J.P. Vigier. Bounce pass. And Butzai will chase. There's a man cutting down the slot. Walzer swoops it away. Another man in the slot area. That's Snyder. He couldn't make the play. And see how the Wolves are content just to back out to the neutral zone, although there's a period and a half to play here. And Moran comes in left wing side. Moran trying to leave it for Darsh. Get it back to Moran in front. Darsh, and he couldn't turn it over. Moran bats that one down. Ling turned it around, hit the post, rebound, and that one does not go. Well, they're coming to life. They need to come to life. Down by 4. Walzer is pinched in. Couldn't get the puck. Ling does throw it toward the net. Darsh got a piece of that one. Ling wants it. He shoots it. That deflected. Walzer will gather in. Looking for room. Send it off the end boards. Here's his shot. Nermanen with a save. This one he'll try to hold on to.
Yeah, that's what you need to see. Got to see that puck coming at Nermanen a little bit more often. And finally some signs of life from the Syracuse offense here in the second period after Chicago is able to score so many goals. And again, a flurry of shots on Nermanen.
Watch Moran feed Darsh. That shot doesn't go. Then there'll be one that rings off the post here, and that one redirected by Darsh. We're not using our regular camera crew tonight. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, in fact, the cheering and applause you hear for Chicago goals is coming from the press box, and I can assure you it's not Bob and myself.
Chris Nielsen trying to flow one in front. There's a penalty upcoming against the Chicago Wolves. Francis Lessard then puts Jamie Heward into a headlock. If you're the Chicago Wolves, you're bringing the Crunch back into the game. You're down by 4. You want to get them fired up? That's a good way to do it, Francis Lessard.
That's it. You bring a goon like that on the ice, and Lessard's been used on the power play after Chicago got a big lead. And I'm sure that's exactly what he's out there for. As you say, Bob, he's going to try to do whatever he can to try to totally take Syracuse out of their game. And the key right now is to play aggressively, but not overly aggressive in terms of taking stupid penalties. So you get the tough guy off the ice with a stupid penalty behind the net, and Syracuse goes on the power play now, and Lessard very easily could have had a couple more minutes tacked on to the 2 that were initially called against him.
Yeah, he sure could have. He dumped Jeremy Reach with a cross check. Well, it's far from over.
Well, that's it. Syracuse obviously has to get the next goal here, and Heward holding his nose in disgust and says, Lessard, you stink. That's the style of play that Lessard brings to this team, and as a result, he is in the penalty box right now and not helping his team.
4 unanswered goals for Chicago. The Crunch trying to overcome a great deal of adversity, playing at home tonight in Game 7 of this series. Bouncing puck in on J.F. Labbe. Going to leave it for Derek Walzer. Walzer being pressured by Ben Simon. Simon almost making the steal.
And there's the equalizer right there. You knew that Ferlat was going to call it. And indeed he does on Heward. A very weak call as Heward brings his man down, and Simon right now is kind of swinging sticks, it looks like, with Jeremy Reach. So Ferlat's going to risk losing control of this game, and certainly you can hear the fans voicing their displeasure in this case too.
That was weak.
Well, you can sit on a 4-goal lead, or you can pull, again, you can do stuff like Lessard was doing before, that Ferlat with kind of a makeup call there, or whatever you want to call it. So
how do you make a makeup call when a guy molests somebody? Should have had more penalty time, and then Jamie Heward barely touches somebody. He goes into the penalty box. The heck with the makeup calls here. We'll play 4-on-4 for a minute 42.
Well, that's it. He doesn't want to lose control of the game, but in effect may have already done so.
Moran to take the face-off against Piros, and that's won by Chicago. Ball's into the far corner and trying to take him off the puck, and they do. Piros comes around, trying to wrap it toward the net. Didn't go. Nardella's shot. He's bidding for a hat trick tonight, and he missed. Puck now picked up by Derek Walzer. Walzer trying to pass it ahead to Scoville. Broken up. Walzer's going to bring it in over the blue line. Walzer, top of the slot, takes a shot. It deflected off his stick, and it goes to the end boards. Piros over in the far corner. David Ling put a hit on him as the puck is sent down the length of the ice, and Derek Walzer is going to come back and, it'll be Scoville that'll come back and touch up and get the icing. We're approaching the midway point of period number 2, and the Crunch is down by 4 goals. And 59 seconds left in the 4-on-4.
Being told by one of the guys down in the truck that Lessard was yelling over to Heward in the penalty box, I'll make your tea time for you, so you can see the trash talk has already started down there.
Speaking of trash.
Oh, there you go. Heward in the box for Syracuse, and in 59 seconds. Chicago's going to have an abbreviated power play.
Over in the far corner, Nielsen trying to beat Carlson to the puck, kicking to the blue line. And Trainer's going to send it in deep. Too deep, over the glass.
Well, again, we talked about it. Take a look at Neteros. Neteros doing a great job stick handling in that game the other night. Really hasn't had a chance to show us that skill in this contest. As we said before, I mean, it's a matter of playing aggressively and obviously taking some chances. But when those chances involve taking penalties too, certainly not a good tone to set when you're down by 4.
Matthew Darche, near side, losing control as Malte swings it in deep. Andre Neteros leaving behind his own net for Paul Trainer. Trainer looking for somewhere to pass. Found Darche. Darche couldn't connect. Has a chance to make a steal. Got tripped up just enough to slow him down, and so Darche will have to go hard into the corner. Malte's got the puck. Somebody's got to lay the lumber on him. They did that on Sunday night, and it worked well. Here's Sofrano. Play the puck off the end boards. Labbe just going to stop it against the net and hold on for a faceoff.
Well, the Wolves had been outscored by the Crunch 12-1. They only managed 1 goal, and John Anderson's team was in a scoring slump here in this building. But what they've done is they've scored 4 unanswered goals after Syracuse had tied things very early in the first period. And as a result, Anderson's team has themselves a 4-goal advantage right now on the Crunch, and we have reached the midway point of this Game 7 contest.
Nielsen on the draw against Snyder. I think Nielsen's been waved down, so Davidson will step in. And this one, the Crunch still battling for. And moving around, it comes off the skates of the linesman right to Davidson. Davidson's going to bring it out to the neutral zone, a one-handed in. About to go back to a power play situation. Good hit by Nielsen as the puck is out to the neutral zone, and Lassard trying to step into it. Shrupko stayed with him. 10 seconds on the abbreviated power play here as Borzinski will whack the puck the length of the ice, and Heward is ready to jump up and come out, and Jamie Heward does that right now. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Dallas Eakins lifting the puck high in the air. Yuri Butsayev is chasing. Heward getting to the puck first, and as he touched up, looked like he may have gotten there in time for an icing call. Well, that leaves 9:23 to go here in period number 2. Everything has gone in the favor of the Chicago Wolves tonight. Every bounce, every pass, and Jamie Heward and his teammates need to get it together with plenty of time to play. Getting ready to continue at the War Memorial. Brad Moran on the faceoff, losing it to the Chicago Wolves. And the puck is flipped inside of the Crunch blue line. Borzinski trying to clear. Moran will dig, won't get it. Vigier had a man inside of the zone. That means they'll lay it off sides against the Wolves, and they'll blow it down now.
Well, as we have been talking about, the way to get back in this game, obviously, is throw a couple of more pucks on the Chicago goaltender, Nermanen. And right now, Syracuse here in the second period has managed 6 shots on goal. Had a flurry of shots on him a few minutes ago, and that really their biggest scoring threat here in the second.
Here's Darche chasing for a loose puck to Penta. Will just about beat him there. The key to the play was to Penta kept him going, kept that momentum going, and was unable to get, Darche was unable to get back to the puck. So Scoville goes behind his own net. Darryl Scoville up the right side for David Ling. Flip the puck out to center ice. Nardella going to find a man, and now Vigier is going to dump it back in. You see where the Wolves are really shortening the ice surface here. They're content to do that. Snyder pinning Scoville. Scoville reaches back around, pulls the puck free, gives it to David Ling, and Ling's going to send it down the ice in on Pasi Nermanen, who makes a save, and there's a penalty upcoming against Yuri Butsayev for roughing.
And that happening as Ling was rifling that puck down the ice. So Syracuse again with a man advantage and got to try to make this power play work. Coming into this contest tonight, Syracuse 4 for 16 on their power play in the last couple of games, so certainly they had a lot of success there. They have a power play goal tonight. David Ling, that the only goal of the evening. I tell you what, whoever ends up winning this series will be a little bit tired going against Houston. Houston sweeping their series against Hershey, so they've had plenty of time to rest to get ready for the Chicago or Syracuse.
A one-timer by Walter, and he scores! Derek Walzer put it in the net.
Shawali Wally, Shabang Bang. Crunch trails 5-2.
And only 2 seconds into that man advantage for Syracuse. And just like that first goal, it comes off the face-off. Crunch win the draw, get it back to Derek Walser. Walser winds up from the blue line, takes the shot. He gets his first goal of this playoff series, and Syracuse back on the board now, as you say, trailing by 3.
Good job by Moran. He won the draw. Heward got it to Walser. You see Jamie Heward. Nice backhanded dish, and bang! There it is. And now the Crunch has a little bit of energy, do they not?
They've got to take this momentum and make it work for you and keep the crowd in it too.
And here's Netero still play that puck in with 8:15 to go in the second. Wolves want to settle it down here. They're ahead by 3 goals. Mike Weaver behind his own net. He's really content to settle things down. Weaver now passing to the near side. Schill stepping up to challenge. Puck to the blue line. Walser couldn't hold it. Look out. Here come the Wolves back the other way. It is Tapper with Simon going down the slot. And Westcott broke that up. And Labbe will pull in the puck.
Wow, great play by Doobie Westcott to go down. A little 2-on-1. Westcott goes down on the ice to keep that centering pass from getting through. So a good job by Westcott and the Crunch defense to get back. And, after scoring that goal, just importantly, Syracuse is going to have to keep Chicago off the board. I think that is a certainty.
Good play by Doobie Westcott. He went out, got the arms on it. Derek Walser's power play goal has pulled the Crunch to within 3. And the Crunch is playing in their house tonight. And here comes the 7th man. Wolves winning the draw. DePenta floated toward the end boards. Heward off the back end, couldn't clear. Moran has a chance, and Darsh will kick it free. DePenta lifting the puck high in the air. Remember, the Crunch scored 6 times in Game 6. They only need to score 6 times tonight to be able to get a come from behind victory.
That's right. Maybe not even need you certainly don't need 6 more goals. You're going to need 4 more goals.
Well, let's go back to that game on Sunday. And the Crunch scored twice in the first, scored 3 times in the second, and once in the third. You never know.
And the tone was very much like it was after Chicago had scored their 5th goal, where, it was just coming a little bit too easily, and that was the case for Syracuse Sunday. So you got to stop that flow first and foremost.
DePenta with a shot, hit a body, and the Crunch has a chance to bring it back 3 men strong. Nielsen wanting to come in on the right wing side. He does. Wants to drag it around Bob Nardella. Nielsen in the far corner looking for Davidson. Puck bounced on him. Davidson gets stumped. Crunch still battling, but the Wolves are going to come out. They've got 2 men coming down the ice. DePenta, one of those. He bursts toward the front of the net. Carlson lost control of the puck. Davidson, nice stick handling. Passing to Reach. Reach pulled it in, but offsides. Nielsen got ahead of the play there as the Chicago Wolves player stepped in on Jeremy Reach.
But again, as you say, you sense that the fans are coming back to life in this one. Hopefully, Syracuse is as well.
You watch Carlson right there. He just loses the puck, and then Davidson turning it around. Malte, the man challenging him, got around him and made the nice pass to give Reach the opportunity to come into the zone.
Davidson making a nice move to pull that puck towards him and get it further up ice. Now finally shots on goal starting to even out a little bit. Syracuse now with 9 here in the second period.
Crunch put it back in. Now Sakins behind the net. Somebody has lost a stick. That is Garnet Exelby that has lost it. Puck is fired down the ice. They say it got part of the crease, and so no icing. Walser looking for a long pass. And that one picked off by the Chicago Wolves. Aaron Butsayev with Daryl Scoville on it. Butsayev tied up. Moran stepped in. Moran getting upended. Vijay trying to pull the puck free. Walser went to block any centering attempt. That's a great play by Derek Walser. And Walser will get the puck to Darsh. Swing it off the backhand to Moran. Wolves want to send it back the other way. Loose puck lays there for Chicago. And Butsayev finding Vijay. He springs free. Shoots. Save is made by Labbe.
And before that shot, Butsayev is taken to the ice very hard by Scoville. It's a nice job, and then a quick shot on Labbe, who makes a nice save. So you see the check right there. And you see the save right there by Labbe. So Scoville with a nice check, Labbe with a nice save. And the face-off now is going to come just outside. Looks like just at the red line, actually. Or excuse me, no, deep inside Syracuse territory to Labbe's glove side.
Derek McKenzie's going to step in against Chris Nielsen here. Big face-off for the Crunch inside of their own end. And Nielsen rolls it free to the neutral zone. I think it's fair to say the Crunch needs one more before the end of this period.
Yeah, definitely. They need the next one. I think that's a safe bet, too.
Ben Simon comes rushing in. Trainer will slow him down. Doobie Westcott with the puck. Lost the puck. McKenzie forced the shot wide thanks to Trainer, who stepped in and got a stick on it. Wolves still pull it out. They still have got it. They had Simon free in the slot for only a moment. Davidson up the far wall. Nielsen, good touch. They get it out the reach. Jeremy in on the left wing side. Drop it off looking for Doobie Westcott. Wolves want to take it back the other way with a steal by Nielsen. Nielsen over to the far side. Reach will shovel it off the backhand. Piros is there. He'll put it down the boards. This is going to be an icing call if it goes far enough, which it does. And Doobie Westcott will touch up with 5 minutes and 26 seconds remaining here in the second period. Well, the Crunch is still down by 3, but they do have energy. And that's thanks to a Derek Walser power play goal. There you look at a great crowd at the War Memorial tonight. They had been silenced when the Chicago Wolves had scored 4 unanswered goals. They have come back to life with the Crunch getting one. And here's Moran looking for Heward with a shot. The save is made by Pasi Nurminen. And there's a penalty upcoming here. And holding is going to be the call. And I believe the Crunch will get a power play here late in period 2.
And that comes on hard work for Matthew Darsh going right to the net. And Darsh trying to wreak some havoc there, create some traffic in front of the Chicago netminder. And in the process, Darsh is pulled down. You'll see it right to the left side of your screen. Darsh goes down. And Chicago goes man down as the Crunch try to put their power play to the test once again. Last power play, 2 seconds in, Derek Walser got a goal, and Syracuse going to have to do it again as, surprise, surprise, Lassard finds itself in the box once again in this contest.
Well, if the Crunch can get another goal right here, they'll be right back in it without question. Ling into the far corner. Taking off the puck initially, getting back to it. Somebody has lost a stick, and that is Ling, but the puck is played to the far point. Walser has got it. By the time it got out of his skates, he had to pass it away. Shot by Moran, save is made, and Heward couldn't get the rebound settled down. Heward now on the near boards. He's going to hold it. Heward fakes the slap shot. The Wolves stay in their stations. Puck comes out to Walser. He'll take the shot, deflected, and then LaRose will get there and send it down the ice. He almost killed his own goaltender right there.
Yeah, you know, you have to be careful. I mean, you want to block that shot, but you get a piece of it, and you're going to redirect that puck right by your guy. But again, one shot and out of the zone. Chicago very effective on these power plays.
Moran sending it in, and it comes out of the corner. Darsh is there. The goaltender was out of the crease. Puck is out to the blue line, not out of the zone. Walser kept it in. Another Crunch up. And it goes right out toward the front. Nobody tipped it home. Ling has got it. Ling doesn't have his shot off the backhand. Great shot by Walser, and the save is made by Nurminen.
Wow. And Nurminen had to fight traffic again to stop that Walser blast. And 2 Crunch hops on that last drive, too. You saw some strange caroons off the boards, and we saw not once, but twice. And again, Syracuse applying the pressure with just 1 minute expired in this power play. And Walser finds himself with a good scoring chance, too.
Jean-Francois Labbe is going to leave the game right now in favor of Greg Gardner.
Now, what do you make of this?
I think it's about time for the power play unit to get a breather.
You might be right. We'll see how long Labbe stays off. My guess is not real long.
My guess is for a whistle.
Yeah, 30 seconds worth.
That's exactly what I think is going on right here.
Well, if that's the case, then Gary Agnew, give him a lot of credit. Although I see Labbe going back to the dressing room, so he may be going back there to grab himself a sip of water, too.
Face-off going to be won by the Crunch. Walser with the puck to the far wall. Darsh walks in. Big shot. Save is made. And the Wolves should have a chance to clear it, and they do. Under a minute to go on the power play chance. Greg Gardner is back today. His grandfather passed away. He wasn't here on Sunday, as Labbe was backed up by Pascal Leclerc. And guess what? There's another penalty upcoming against the Wolves. And a smart play by Walser. He throws the puck down the ice, puts it on the goaltender, and we'll have goaltender interference called against the Chicago Wolves. Greg Gardner comes in. He could be part of one of the bigger plays of tonight's hockey game.
How about that? And Gardner only playing a few seconds, but again, we talk about very foolish penalties to take, and whether or not contact was made here, and you can see indeed contact was made. So Ben Simon, a guy who kind of like Lassard is no stranger to the goonery, finds himself in the penalty box, and a huge scoring opportunity right now for Syracuse. A two-man advantage for the next 35 seconds.
You got to get one on this. You've got to get one on this as Labbe is back. Down 5-2, the Crunch is. Here's a look at Brad Moran. He gets the assignment on taking the draw.
You know, you talk about genius moves. Gary Agnew could have come up with a huge one.
Here's Walzer, big one-timer in that one, missing the net. Ling will gather it in, 5-on-3 for less than 30 seconds. Ewert. Walzer couldn't handle. Wolves couldn't clear it. Here's a shot toward the front of the net. The Wolves now have a chance to slide it free, and they do. Crunch has to quickly turn this one around. Ewert, leave it for Ling. He'll come walking in. Ling, smart play here. Ewert back to David Ling. Doesn't have a shot. Ewert doesn't have a shot. They look to set up Walzer for the shot. He'll go down low. Here it is. Ling fanned on it. Might have had his stick lifted, as a matter of fact. Good job by Walzer. Good hustle. Sent it in front. That one chipped wide by Moran. Nardella is going to knock it clear with 1:15 to go on the power play altogether. Good job by Labbe, chipping that around his man. Walzer through the neutral zone. In over the blue line. Pulls up, finding Ling. They come back to reach with a shot, and a kick save made by Nermanen. Puck to the blue line. Westcott, Walzer, settle it down. Walzer going to send it out of the far corner. Ling is there. David Ling, plenty of pressure. What a pass for Westcott. Trying to go down low. And a man cutting in from the right wing circle. Couldn't feed him. Crunch will knock down the clearing attempt. Scoville send it to the end boards. And there's Aikens to get it done.
Well, you got to give Chicago some amount of credit for getting a stick and a pad, just about everything. LaRose before Exelby getting a pad on that, not allowing the shot to get through.
Dewey Westcott leaving for Scoville. Blasted around. And Vigier with a chance to get it out. He does. 20 seconds to go on the power play chance. Down to 2:05 remaining in the period as well. Time does become a factor at some point. Crunch has scored 1 goal in each period. They're down by 3. That would leave them with a ton of work to do in the third period. Getting one here would make a world of difference. We're back to full and even strength as the man is out of the penalty box. Korzynski play that puck to the end boards, and Weaver is there to feed LaRose right now. Here's LaRose. He's going to bring it in and then softly send that puck deep inside of the Crunch end. Well, that momentum shift goes in the favor of the Chicago Wolves, no doubt. Killing off the 5-on-3.
And Syracuse able to apply some good pressure, but still unable to figure out Nermanen, who does a very good job along with his defense and keeping Syracuse from getting on the board on that 5-on-3. And now Chicago, as we reach the 1 minute remaining point here in the second period, starting to apply some pressure. As they cycle the puck in the corner, that's Malte who fires it back in deep, and Labbe is going to come behind his own net, and he decides to kind of feather it around. Cummings out on the ice for his first shift. And still Chicago able to keep it inside the zone. Nice check by Borzynski on Carlson. But still DePenta at the blue line able to keep it in. He takes a shot, that misses the mark, and Cummings is finally going to try to clear the Crunch zone with less than a minute remaining here in the first period. Trainer now doing a good job on his man Brown in the corner, and Trainer still unable to get it out. He takes a whack at Brown. Carlson feeds the point. Nardella back inside. Shot over to Malte. Malte goes to the backhand, and Chicago unable to convert in front as Brown is brought down, and now going the other way. Syracuse tries to break out of the zone unsuccessfully and back into the attack zone for the Chicago Wolves. And we'll take a line change here now as the clock winds down in the second period. Preston Mitzi going to get one more rush down the ice for Syracuse. And Cummings, they're trying to level a nice check against the boards very quickly. You see a quick shot on Nermanen, and it is kicked aside at the whistle here to end the second period of play. And we had a whistle right at the end. I don't think we're going to have a penalty called. Cummings goes down, but he gets up and skates off the ice. And so do the Crunch, so does J.F. Labbe, so do the Chicago Wolves. And right now, a 3-goal advantage for the Wolves. 5-2 in favor of Chicago, as you see at the end of the second period. Some power play goals. Unfortunately, too many for the bad guys in this case as we head to break. Once again, you're watching Syracuse Crunch Hockey on Time Warner 13.
Now we played 2 here at the War Memorial. At least one left tonight. The Crunch trailing the Chicago Wolves by the score of 5-2 in Game 7 of this Western Conference semifinal series. Bob McElligott back with you, and I'm joined right now by Chris Nielsen of the Crunch. And Chris, obviously this one hasn't gone according to game plan to this point. The Chicago Wolves really came out throwing everything at the net in the first period. You got the last goal. You're back to within 3 and 20 minutes left to do it. Will you be going all out with reckless abandon here in the final 20?
Oh, we don't really have any other choice. We don't really have another choice, Bob, and we dug ourselves a hole, and it's going to take 20 minutes is the best we have to try to get back into this game, and rest assured that everybody in our room is ready to give it everything we got.
Let me ask you this question. In the second period, in the latter stages of the second period, you turned it around. You're putting more pressure on them than they seem to be putting on you lately. How much of a building block is that to go into the third?
Well, we need anything that we can get right now to build on, and obviously we have to use that and use that last goal that we scored, and we just can't give anything up. I mean, that's pretty plain and simple. It's black and white. We got to go out there. We got to play our best, and hope we get a couple bounces our way.
The Wolves taking some penalties there in the second period, especially Francis Lassard taking a couple. Ben Simon. It's not a surprise. I mean, these guys have taken these penalties, especially Ben Simon, throughout the course of the series. But do you expect them to play a more disciplined game in the third?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're getting lectured right now about that, and that's fine. We have to go out there. We have to generate what we can and work as hard as we can, and we got to leave it all on the ice. And if we do that, you never know what's going to happen.
Season comes down to 20 minutes. If you were down by 1, I'm sure you'd feel a lot better than being down by 3. But third period has been yours, and especially has been yours inside of this building, hasn't it?
Well, I mean, that's something we have to build on. We've been a third period club all year, and we're going to need our best third period of the year right now.
Now we're looking forward to that third period. You're starting to get more comfortable at that center ice position. To see you've won more faceoffs as the series has gone along, and you've played on the wing most of the time. But have you enjoyed playing in the middle of the ice?
Well, it's just been a bit of victim of circumstance, and it's where we've had a few injuries down the middle, and guys have to fill in whatever role they are asked. And I've been asked to play center ice, and I just go out there and work my hardest and try to get the job done.
How important will it be to keep, at the same time, putting pressure on the net and on Pasi Nurminen, still keep that energy and still continue to hit the Wolves in the third?
Well, like I said, it's going to take everything that we have, every last ounce of strength, and every little bit of energy that everyone has in that room. And even then, we're going to need some help from the hockey gods and our fans.
Even if this game were to end with you not finishing on the winning end, and we're obviously hoping that's not the case, the season in general, is it still a success for the Syracuse Crunch overall?
Well, that'll be determined a little bit down the road. For us, success depends on what we do here, and we're going to test some character in the room and find out what guys are made of, and see that we can't go out there and surprise a few people.
Do you expect the Wolves to continue with a hard forechecking? Do you think they're going to play like the 1-4 and go ahead and back up, try to make it tough on you to come into the zone?
Well, they're going to try to protect their lead. Obviously, the way they look at it, they have enough goals to win, and they're lucky. They have a little bit of cushion. We don't. So it's an uphill battle, but we're ready for it.
All right, go regroup with your teammates for what might be one final time in this game. Let's just score 3 and go to overtime. We'll play all night, whatever it takes.
Sounds good to me, Bob.
All right, thank you, Chris. Chris Nielsen of the Syracuse Crunch joining us. Crunch needing to rally big time in the third period. They've done it before. They'll need to do it one more time again, down 5-2.
Oh, yeah. Things never change.
This your first time down since coming back? Back here at the War Memorial, and there you see the last time the Crunch won, or not the Crunch, but a Syracuse team won the Calder Cup. That was in the 36-37 season. It was the Syracuse Stars that did it back then. The Syracuse Crunch hoping to. They're still. This dream is still alive. It's still alive. They just got to score 3 times in the third period to tie this game at the very least against the Chicago Wolves. Bob McElligott back with you, and I'm joined by a former Crunch member and now a member of the Vancouver Canucks, Brent Sopel. And Brent, when you were here in Syracuse, you got used to making that long trek from here to Vancouver. They were playing on the East Coast. You were in good shape. But this year you finally got a sustained opportunity to be in Vancouver, play in Vancouver. And how nice did it feel for you to be in the NHL, know you're going to stay as an NHLer?
Well, that's your goal, as you're playing down here in the Myers to have a sustained opportunity and play every night. And I got that opportunity. Coach staff gave me that opportunity. I just tried to make the best of it.
And while you're in the NHL, I'm sure that you draw on all of your experience and everything that you learned in the minor leagues from your head coaches, Jack McElhargy, and then Stan Smeal when you were here and in Kansas City after that. Yeah,
it was a great thing for me. I learned a lot, like you said, from those two coaches, the guys I played with and the guys I played against. It was a really learning experience, which led me to the career that I've started up in the NHL. If I didn't come down here and play the games that I did down here, I'd probably wouldn't be where I am right now.
For the Vancouver Canucks this year, it was kind of a peaks and valley type of a season, but when you finished it, you had actually finished it on a pretty good run. You get into the Stanley Cup playoffs, you take on the Detroit Red Wings in the first round, you go up 2-0. You win both of those on the road. What happened after that?
Well, you're playing against an unbelievable team. 9 or 10 Hall of Famers. They played a different game. When we came back to Vancouver, they turned their game up. We started making a few mistakes, and they're making us pay. It was a great learning experience playing against those guys for myself and as a team. We want to build from that for next year, but it was definitely a huge learning experience and a lot of fun.
When you're skating around on the ice in the NHL, you have to watch, and sometimes that you're not watching opposing players like a Brett Hall or somebody that you watched for a long time growing up, and all of a sudden you're on the same ice surface with them. You can't get caught being a spectator.
Oh, no, yeah. They know if you're watching them, you watch them, they'll put the puck in the net. But, definitely, you take a look, you know who you're playing against. But when the time comes, the drop of the puck, you got to do your job. You're there for a reason, and, so that you got to do the job properly.
First time back in the War Memorial this year, coming back to Syracuse?
Yeah, it's been a while. Bring the family for a game, so it's been a long time. Bring a lot of memories.
And you've met someone here in Syracuse. You're now going to make your home here in the off season. A baby due in June. That's a big off season for you.
Yeah, it's really busy. With the little guy turning 4 already, and the baby here in a month. It's going to keep me really busy. So I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. You'll enjoy every bit of that, but you'll be ready to go to training camp probably sometime.
Yeah,
in September.
Exactly. They're probably ready to kick me out too when that time comes. And not used to having me home either.
Then it works for everybody.
Yeah.
You got a lot of pressure here. There's 20 minutes left. I mean, I don't want to put the pressure on you, but Scott Walker's been here, and Jeff Ware has been here, and Mike Gall has been here, and this team has won games. So if you have any kind of good luck charms you can bring to this team in 20 minutes, we'd like to see it.
Well, hopefully they're starting to turn it up in the last 5 minutes. They're starting to play the way they can. So if they keep that up, keep traffic in the net, I think they'll get the 3 goals tied up and go win in overtime.
Brent, thanks for coming on with us tonight. Congratulations on a great year in the NHL. Good luck with the baby, and good luck into next year too.
Thanks very much.
That is Brent Sopel, member of the Vancouver Canucks. He's a Crunch alumni, and he's here for tonight's Game 7. The Crunch trailing 5-2 with the third period coming up.
LA, a long road to travel in order to tie this one up. You see Chicago on top of Syracuse 5-2. We're in between periods 2 and 3 here at the Onondaga County War Memorial. Bob McElligott making his way back up to the press box. Keith Copeland with you here, and checking some of the highlights from the second period. The Wolves starting things the way they finished, with a goal. And this is Brown. He gets his 3rd of the playoffs, and this goes off Labbe. You see Labbe makes the initial save, rolls up the front of him and down the back of him, gets behind him. And Chicago finds themselves on the board once again. Then on the power play, Nardella eventually is going to take a feed from Carlson in front here. Labbe gets beat 5-hole, and right about now, things looking real good for the Wolves. They are up by 4, but Syracuse comes back. Derek Walser off the faceoff and on the power play, a rifle of a shot that beats Nurminen. Walser gets his 1st goal of the playoffs, his 3rd point overall, and Syracuse finally able to cut into that Chicago lead. You take a look right there, shots on goal. Syracuse leads in that category, so certainly something that's a positive there, and we heard Brett Sopel talking about it with you, Bob, in terms of, really turning things on in the last 5 minutes of that second period. So certainly the shots on goal bear that out. Saves you can see right there. Nurminen with 23, 17 for Labbe. Face-offs fairly even. Power plays fairly even. The power play shots, you see Syracuse with a lot of shots on Nurminen, but he's able to turn a lot of them aside. But 2 power play goals tonight for the Crunch.
Well, you know, tonight has been a night that Jeff Labbe hasn't had a great performance. His teammates need to pick him up. Got game? That's the question. We've got 20 minutes left in this one. At least 20 minutes, unless the Crunch can force it overtime. They would rather score 4 and end it right now. Now there are 20 minutes of hockey left in regulation. And the Crunch needs 3 goals to tie the Chicago Wolves. Let's take a look at J.F. Labbe. Well, you are looking at him right there. And take a look at him in the playoffs. Here's what he's done.
And what hasn't he done, I guess? You see 268 saves, a great save percentage, 3rd in league, a 1.56 goals against, 93 and 94 shots stopped here in 3 wins, 2 of 7 career shutouts this series. He has 7 playoff shutouts. Good enough to win in the playoffs. To shut another team out, that's saying something, and Labbe has done it 7 times, 1 shy of the American Hockey League record.
Well, he's had somewhat of an off night tonight. A lot of deflections in front of him, though. One time a man was lying on his stick, couldn't get it free. You just come to expect to see him pitch shutouts night in and night out. He's given up a 5 spot tonight.
Well, that's it. You can't lay it all squarely on his shoulders.
And look at this. In the 3rd period on home ice, Crunch outscoring their opponents 10-0. They only needed to go 4-0 tonight.
That's right.
Snyder, long pass, and that one's broken up by Matthew Darche. Vijay did not reset, and 12 seconds into the period, there's an offside call.
So what game will the Crunch bring to this 3rd period of what could possibly be the final period of this season? And you heard Sokol talking about it in between periods, and you know, just in terms of putting together a successful period 3 game plan, and hopefully they can take a page out of what was working in the last 5 minutes of period number 2.
Walzer, chip it over to Scoville. Darryl Scoville and Derek Walzer both won the Calder Cup last year with the St. John Flames. And here's a turnover at the blue line. Butsaev's shot denied by Labbe. Darche trying to bring it out. The Wolves want to take it right back in. Watch Chicago. They'll try to make a lot of steals. They're going to play it very close to the vest, I would think, here.
Yeah, it's a situation where they don't necessarily need to score.
Here's Darche coming in. His shot got his stick got lifted. Save is made. Where's the puck? Cleared off the glass and down the ice. This is going to be icing. Is hustling back is Darryl Scoville. Well, not a bad start to the period, actually. Darche comes in. He has an opportunity. Crunch got a shot on net.
And again, you don't get them all back in one full swoop. They come one at a time. And a good scoring chance right here, as you see, just fanning on that shot. Unfortunately, I think a Chicago player may have gotten a stick on that, but Darche still able to get the puck further into the zone. And that's what Gary Agnew needs more of here in this 3rd period, just getting those scoring chances.
Nielsen will take the face-off against Carlson. Nielsen wins it. Walzer from the blue line. Malte blocks the shooting lane. There's a penalty upcoming. It'll be against the Wolves. Bouncing puck. Touched by Chicago. And 58 seconds into the period, we have a holding call. And the Crunch will go on the power play.
And Carlson will go off on a holding penalty. And you can see that Chicago is just not going to allow any Crunch movement through that slot area. I mean, maybe they'll allow movement, but you're going to have to move in and move out very quickly. If you try to position yourself in there, you get brought down. So that's what Carlson does. He goes off, and John Anderson's penalty kill unit will hit the ice. His penalty kill unit's already had 2 power play goals scored against it in this game.
If you're wondering about the Crunch's quick strike ability, in Game 6, they scored 2 times in just over 2 minutes. In fact, 2 minutes and 11 seconds. There is Matthew Darche, and he's been going toward that net tonight. He's drawn a couple of penalties. He's gotten some shots away. Moran will take the draw against Guy LaRose. And LaRose wins this one. Garnet Exelby over to Ben Simon. Simon will clear it. In on Labbe. Labbe leaving it for Walzer. Every power play chance you get, if you're in a Crunch uniform, is huge at this point. You are down by 3 in the 3rd period of what could be your final game of the season. Winner moves on, loser goes home. Moran in center point. Nice little move. Got taken off the puck. And then Ling followed it up. Puck to the blue line. Comes to Heward. Can't settle it down. Walzer can't settle it down. Around behind the net it goes. Ling can't settle it down. That's a common theme here on this power play for the Crunch.
And finally the puck settles down outside the offensive zone.
Walser again will look to do something with it, and he gets pressured. Has to go into his own end. Well, the Crunch wants to do it perfectly. The crowd won't like him going backwards, and here he coughs it up, and look out. Snyder walks in. He doesn't get a good shot away on Labbe. Well, you try to play it perfectly. Sometimes you get too perfect. Ling, good job to stay away from pressure. Under a minute left on the power play. Moran had his stick lifted from behind. Snyder brings it back the other way. He's got McKenzie cutting down the slot. Snyder will not take the shot. It was knocked off his stick. Turning it around, Andre Neteros. Off the forehand, dump it in. Gets hauled down. Play continues. DePenta around the boards. Davidson, nice little hip move to keep the puck in the zone, but only for a moment. Half a minute left on the power play. Crunch will put it back in. To the far corner it goes. Bouncing puck out of there. DePenta trying to clear. Can't. Here's a long shot. Newmanen made the initial save. Nielsen fanned on his shot attempt as the puck hit the ice and jumped up on him. 15 seconds to go in the man advantage. Neteros has a man cutting in. They couldn't feed him. Here's Scoville. Fakes the one-timer. Gets the puck around the man, and the Wolves will finally send it into the crowd. No, they didn't. I thought it would get over the glass. It does fall back in play. And we go back to full and even strength, and the Crunch is 2 for 9 on the power play.
You can see what Scoville was trying to do. He had 2 Wolf players coming at him. He just wanted to drag the puck around, but couldn't get it by.
Inside of his own blue line is Mike Weaver. Trying to feed J.P. Vigier. Crunch needing 3 goals. 16:43 to get him. Reach. Sending the puck far side. Borzenski doesn't know where it is. Weaver sent it toward the net. Labbe sticked it aside. Martin Perluck now. Nice little move before outletting to Borzenski. Lift the puck in the air and sends it inside of the Chicago end. Jeremy Reach getting position on his man. Still battling. Reach comes out with it. Give it to Traynor. Shot off the stick into the crowd.
Well, as they have all night long. I mean, the Wolves doing a good job with getting a stick or getting a pad or getting something in the way of those Crunch shots. I mean, Syracuse able to get that shot off, but it just doesn't get through.
See Trainor's shot right here. Blocked. And they go upstairs. Nice grab. Oh, no, he didn't get it.
No. Got to be paying attention. Never know when you're going to have one of those souvenirs flying up there.
Those are the easy kind, the ones that pop up.
I'd like to see a couple of those souvenirs behind Nurminen at this point.
Moran losing the draw. Safronov finding Rob Brown. He will just calmly play the puck out of the zone. Shrupko coming back toward Walser. Ling will bang the puck off the boards. Touched by the Wolves. Moran trying to get position. He's down on the ice. I believe the puck's under him.
Well, this is a position that Chicago has been in not once before, but twice before in this playoff series. I mean, Gary Agnew's team swept past Philadelphia in order to advance to the next round. The Wolves, on the other hand, they went to decisive games in their first round against Cincinnati, and then their second round against Grand Rapids, and then here again in this round against Syracuse. So they played the maximum number of games, and they've already been in a couple of elimination games too.
Davidson getting the puck back to Doobie Westcott. Walser, long shot. Nielsen trying to get position. Got it to Davidson. Whip it wide of the net. Brad Tapper will get it out to the neutral zone. Westcott chasing inside of his own zone. Pass it to Nielsen. Tapper pulled up. Nielsen walks around and comes in left wing side. Trying to make a move on Dallas Aikens. Reach going behind the net. Jeremy beating Garnet Exelby to the puck. Nielsen onto the far wall with it. Send it toward the net. Aikens peels it off the doorstep. It's not over yet as Walser gets in there. Walser, backhanded chop. Found Davidson. Off the forehand. Give it to Reach. Reach gets swarmed under, and down the length of the ice goes the puck.
Yeah, it's almost like Chicago's going to approach this like a power play. Just get the puck out of the zone. Get it down the ice and get it out of the zone.
15 minutes and 14 seconds to go here. Crunch needing to score 3. You know, scoring 1 or 2 is one thing. Scoring 3 is a tall order.
Oh, sure. And scoring 3 against arguably one of the best teams in the American Hockey League. Certainly one of the best teams in the Western Conference. I mean, there was a 7 seed, and that certainly was probably not indicative of the talent level of this team.
Mitzi from the draw, putting the puck near corner. Perluck does have it. He does have a man all over him from behind. Martin Perluck trying to beat Bob Nardella. He finally does. Drop it off to Andre Neteros. Let's see what these two young Czech players can do. Wheel and deal on the far side. Leave it behind the net. Mitzi battles for it. Mitzi comes near side. Tap it around to Andre Neteros. Man on him. Lost control. Diving toward the blue line. Couldn't do much more. Offsides against the Crunch now. I think a linesman got hit on the near boards.
Yeah, stick. Looks like he may have caught a stick up high, maybe.
Yep. Right in the jaw. Martin Karluk did a nice job going against the boards there. First-year player in Andre Neteros coming over from the Czech Republic to play in the American Hockey League. Two prospects that the Blue Jackets are pretty high on.
Yeah, a couple of points for Karluk and a goal and an assist. And actually the puck gets the linesman, and you can see it goes up, and that's why you got to always be watching the puck. Always keep your eye on the puck.
He did, literally.
Yeah, that's all very close to getting himself a little bit more severely injured there, too.
Darsh on the far boards, playing like a man possessed tonight. Finds David Ling. Give it to Brad Moran. Moran, what a battle he's in with Nardella right now. Ling has got the puck. He doesn't have anybody to feed it to, and the Wolves are going to take it away and bring it back down the ice. Here's Malte with Nardella. That's not a favorable matchup for the Wolves, being that Nardella was up on the other wing. So the Crunch will turn it back around. Heward having to send the puck through the neutral zone. Nardella will get to it there. And Malte will just tip it in. You said it. They'll play it like a long power play.
Why not?
Heward fanning on a pass attempt. Getting the puck back onto his stick. And Malte's going to break this one up. Finds Carlson. Carlson over to Rob Brown. One-timer stopped by Labbe. Brad Moran. Drop one off for Heward. Up the far wall. Darsh couldn't hold on. Now Pirosh couldn't hold it. Offsides are the Crunch.
And I think that Matthew Darsh thought he may have been called for a penalty there, so he's breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief.
Yes, he is, but the Crunch has plenty of work to do here in the third. Well, you know, if you can't get the Hanson brothers fired up, it must be a rough night at the War Memorial.
Yeah, you can't get David Ling fired up, although Ling with a goal tonight.
Speaking of fired up.
Is that David Ling's wife?
You can get me fired up. No,
that's not Mrs. David Ling. You see what happens when you believe people in the...
My goodness.
Got a bridge you want to sell me?
Got to check the sources right there.
I ought to know better.
Puck inside of the Crunch end. Derek Walzer getting pressured. Spins away from it. Gets taken down. Late penalty call here. I'll tell you, Eric Ferlot waited a long time before he put the arm up.
Yeah, he did that for his first penalty call tonight, too. And, you know, maybe he had to just go over this in his head again. Was it, let me think about, there we go. Okay, yeah, it's a penalty. You hook somebody with your stick like that and pull them down, yeah, that's a penalty. So Syracuse given another power play chance. Assignment goes off, 2 for hooking.
Indeed. Well, here's another chance. Power play number 10, which is almost unheard of in a playoff game 7.
Yeah, it's now, we said before, Syracuse has had some success on this power play. They had 2 power play goals tonight. The last one they got with Walzer from the point came right off the faceoff.
Time's starting to become an enemy here. You got 13 minutes left. You got to score a goal once every 4 minutes, almost, just to get into a tie.
Yeah. Well, the first one is the most important one, obviously.
You're right. Heward through the neutral zone, sending it in. Went off the body of one of the Wolves. Loose puck toward the blue line. It'll come out, and the Wolves' Gila Rose trying to take it back the other way. Even though he doesn't catch up with the puck, he at least ran some time off the clock, which was his first objective.
Man, this team has some speed runners.
Crunch has some men trapped inside of the zone. Offside play. Well, the fans don't like that, but Nielsen was on the ice, and he was trapped inside the blue line.
And again, that just comes from the aggressive play of Chicago. I mean, trying to force the issue right at the blue line. Syracuse unable to get through, and thusly the faceoff comes just outside the attack zone. With 12:44 remaining here in the third period. And you get that first one, and that allows you to at least pull your goaltender with a couple of minutes remaining, and have some hope. And you're down by 2. And that always seems to be more manageable than down by 3. And I know that sounds like an obvious statement, but, you know, it's true.
Great play from the faceoff by the Crunch. Can they corral the puck? It's in front. Save is made. Darsh looking for the rebound. He had his stick lifted. The battle now is on the near boards, and Snyder will get to the puck. Still has it on his forehand. McKenzie has a chance to bring it out. That's been the story tonight. So many bounces have gone just out of the reach of the Crunch. They really have.
Well, and they said even in that 6-0 blowout, it was a case of, a few bounces go our way, and look what you get, a 6-0 finals. So that's all it takes sometimes.
They can't get anything going tonight.
No.
As far as getting any luck. Chris Nielsen said during the second intermission, we'll need the hockey gods to intervene. They're on vacation. On the near boards, it is Jamie Heward. Long pass off the skates of Darsh. This is going to be an icing. Oh, you can't do that when you need 3 goals in the third period.
No, and when you are on the power play, no less, too.
In any event, David Ling has a goal tonight. He got the first Crunch goal that tied the game back in the first period. He's been quiet ever since. But it was that span of 4 straight scored by the Wolves that put them up by a ton. And there you see a lot of very serious faces on the Crunch bench. They know that they've got plenty of work to do, but time is starting to work against them.
And I tell you, looking at the big picture, this is the kind of game experience that, and I know it's not good for Crunch fans right now, but the kind of game experience for Columbus Blue Jackets is just see a 2-line pass as Davidson takes that pass just over the second line, so that's going to come back. But, again, these Game 7 kinds of experiences that Columbus can give some of its younger players, it's certainly a benefit. I mean, these are important games, and the more of these big games that you play in, the more that you're going to be able to bring to the table when you go to the next level. And so, depending on the outcome tonight, Syracuse either advances or the season comes to an end. But regardless, getting this Game 7 experience, certainly something I'm sure the parent club is happy to see.
Crunch still on the power play for another 22 seconds. Scoville to bring it in. Passing to Reach. One-timer missed the net. Nielsen trying to hold near boards. A lot of traffic there, and he can't force it in. And this is the way the Chicago Wolves play, especially with the lead. They are tough. They played like this in Chicago. You wonder why the Crunch dropped 3 in Chicago. Right here's why. Back to full and even strength as the Crunch lets another power play go by without scoring. Reach into the near corner with Davidson. Nielsen cut toward the front of the net. They couldn't feed him with a pass. Reach is battling with Safronov. Gets taken down. Play the puck out to Davidson. Wanted to move it in front of the net, but Mike Weaver took that away. Rob Brown on the far boards. He got good position. And he finds Safronov. Carlson left wing side. Trying to make a move on Doobie Westcott. Doobie doesn't bite on that one. And now it'll be Scoville as we approach the midway point of period number 3. And the Crunch's season is winded down to 10 minutes and 31 seconds. Doobie Westcott off the backhand. Looking for Jeremy Reach. And look at his forecheck by Chicago. It's just overbearing.
You'd almost think it's a 1-goal lead, not a 3-goal lead, the way they're playing it.
Well, they've got to play it that way, because if you let the Crunch get 1, they could get 2, and who knows.
They can come in bunches. And certainly Doobie Westcott would like to see 1 to come right now off of his stick. And, the Wolves looking to become the 13th team in AHL history to come back from a 2-0 deficit and win the series. And his first 2 games going Syracuse's way, really everything going Syracuse's way up until the trip they took into Chicago.
And Game 3 will be the game you look back on and say that was the opportunity. Up 2-1, plenty of power plays, had a chance to take them out, couldn't bury them. Borzinski shot toward the net. Nerman had to make the save, and he makes another save. That's the first time he's made a save in a while.
Yeah, it sure is. Shots on goal at 27-27.
So we are just about halfway through the Crunch with plenty of work left to do. Now the Crunch's season is wound down to 9 minutes and 59 seconds. They need to wind up the offense if they can muster some against this stingy Chicago Wolves defense.
And there you see County Executive Nick Pirro and Deputy County Executive Ed Cochin at the game tonight, lending their support. You see Cochin sporting that playoff beard too.
Safronov with the puck, trying to move it out of his own zone, which he does. And I don't think the Crunch was aware this was going to be icy, but it doesn't go far enough anyway. Moves it around to David Ling. Ling with a long pass out of the reach of Jarek Walzer. Weaver getting there inside of his own end. And Tapper sending the puck ahead.
Well, coming into this season, there were some who said that this Syracuse Crunch team was, one of the top teams in the league, and I certainly don't think you can refute that regardless of the outcome tonight. Going all the way to the Western Conference semifinals. Considering the way the season started out, a wonderful finish to it, and a nice run through the playoffs here. Sweeping Philadelphia and taking this series to the limit as well.
Ball Trainer, pass ahead, broken up by the Wolves. It's been the story of the game tonight. Chicago came out with a game plan they executed right from the get-go. Nets crashed the net, put the pressure on Labbe. They felt they could beat him, and they did 5 times tonight. Crunch is guilty of icing.
And it's interesting because I'm sure there are so many teams, Bob, who probably had that similar philosophy in terms of a game plan for beating J.F. Labbe. It's one thing to have that game plan, but it's another thing to execute that game plan. I mean, Jeremy Reich certainly knows all about it because the game plan that Gary Agnew had instituted earlier in this series was quite effective. But it was not only that game plan, it was this team's execution of that game plan. And Chicago's coming in, and as a team tonight had done just about everything right. And most importantly, they showed up tonight. I mean, they quite frankly, a lot of these players felt that they really did not bring their A game to Game 6. I guess that's easy to say when you get blown out 6-0, but you see a different team on the ice tonight.
Nardella flipping the puck into Rob Brown. Each of them has a goal tonight. And here's Malte with a shot, and Labbe with a save. If Chicago gets the 6th goal, it's done. Plain and simple. You're still alive, down by 3, down by 4 with less than 10 minutes to play. That would be a huge order.
Yeah.
Nielsen will carry it out. Waves that one in deep. Around the boards it comes. Nielsen's going to try to pick it up himself. He did for a moment. Then Andreas Karlsson stepped into him. Good job by Nielsen to feed Davidson here. Davidson goes behind the net with it. The Pentagon position. And he bounces it off the glass and out. 8.5 minutes to go. Walzer in the neutral zone, right at the red line. Has to play it back in. Hilaros along the end boards. Jeremy Reach steps into him. Got a lick on him, and the Crunch will pull the puck away because of it. Reach still has it. Play it out to Doobie Westcott. He shoots. The save is made. Rebound is laying in the far circle. Cummings will fire it toward the net. That one doesn't make it all the way there. And Camille Piros will tip the puck outside of the zone. Crunch going to try to pick it back up, and good play by Neteros to make sure that didn't turn into a 2-line play. Doobie Westcott overskated there with a little bit of help from Piros, who actually got a stick on the puck. And it's Exelby at the red line, sending it back in. Now the 7:42 remaining here in the 3rd period. Long outlet pass to Brian Cummings. Stepped around Yuri Butsayev. Gains position. Move it around a man. Dan Snyder will take it away. Brian Cummings and Preston Mitzi will go back to the Dayton Bombers tomorrow to help them in their Kelly Cup playoff series. They're in the finals in the East Coast Hockey League. Down 2-0. And those two, they were going to go back regardless of what happened here tonight and try to help that Dayton team because the Crunch wouldn't have played again until Friday. Borzynski back to Scoville. Crunch facing elimination in 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Vigé getting racked by Borzynski, who has lost his helmet. Scoville winds up with the puck. Daryl Scoville up to the red line, continues to carry, puts it in. Ling will chase it down. Ling behind the net, lost control. Borzynski does have it, fired toward the cage. Save is made. Ling to Darsh in front, and there's a shot, and that hits the post. And then the rebound came behind the net. Ling tried to stuff it off of Nurminen, who has no stick right now. And he still can't get to that stick.
Got to get a shot on him.
6.5 to go here. Nurminen looking to get the stick. Ling's moved it to the end boards. But the Crunch still can't find the puck. Moran's got it. Here's a shot off a stick, and into the crowd it goes. And there it is again. This is a game of inches, and the Crunch came to within an inch from getting goal 3.
Yeah, and you know something, and when things are going against you, they go against you all the way. I mean, Nurminen is without his stick. And it's a great scoring chance for Syracuse, trying to fire a puck on him. You're going to see this in just a moment. First of all, that puck that goes on the outside post. Then Nerman goes down. You're going to see him lose his stick here, and Syracuse continues to put the pressure on, but still unable to get a good shot on him while he is without his stick. And you can see right there, 28 saves tonight. He hasn't played a spectacular game, but he's played solid enough, and certainly solid enough to give his team this 3-goal cushion.
Nielsen tied up. Davidson to the end boards. DePenta lifting his stick. Crunch playing some desperation hockey right now. They have no choice but to do so. Nielsen in the far corner, losing control, and the Wolves are going to find Malte. Steve Malte in on the right wing side. Drop it off. Rob Brown, Carlson, top of the slot. Couldn't get a shot away. Heward takes the puck and then ends up giving it right back, as it turns out. Carlson losing control. That's because Reach put a little bit of pressure on him. Davidson tipping it off Reach's stick. Down to 5:45 remaining in regulation. And the Crunch still down by 3. Schill can't come in. He has a man trapped in the zone. Doobie Westcott back to the end boards. Up the Walser. Give it to Neteros with a full head of steam. Andre Neteros over the blue line. Lost control. Schill with a shot turned aside by Pasi Nurminen. And now the Wolves are going to put it down the ice. It'll be waved off here.
And all night long, I mean, Schill winds up, gets a good shot on goal, but that's it. One chance and one chance only.
Walser carrying it in. Left side dish, looking for Schill. Akins beat him to it. Veteran player beat the young player. Scoville fresh off the bench. Will pick up near his own blue line. Westcott sending it rink wide. Wolves step in. Snyder, right wing pass. Tapper. He'll send it off the side of the net. Tapper wanting to throw it out in front. Pirosh is there, and he's content to put it along the end boards. Scoville just running his man over. Snyder goes down. Darsh will carry out on the left wing side, perhaps. He'll have to tip that puck around Mike Weaver. And he finds Moran. Lost control, and down to 4:35 to go. As the Crunch will be eliminated from postseason play. Losing here in Game 7. Second time in franchise history the team has gone into a 7th game. The last time they beat Baltimore to advance to the conference finals before being eliminated.
Yeah, and it looks as if Chicago's going to go on and take on a very well-rested Houston team.
And there was Ling trying to pass back to Walser behind the net, and he forced Labbe to make a save on his own man. So now Gary Agnew sees 4 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock, and his team still needing to rally. Well, many grabbing their coats and heading for the doorways, down by 3 with 4:12 to go. And the face-off inside of the Crunch zone, won by the Wolves. They will advance on to the Western Conference Finals, taking on the Houston Aeros, a couple of former International Hockey League franchises. Will battle it out in the West. They'll take on the winner of Bridgeport and Hamilton in the East. Eward on the far side for the Crunch. Played up the Darsh, couldn't hold on. Puck into the bench of the Crunch.
Well, even though Syracuse is out shooting the Wolves in this game, in the entire series, the Wolves have managed to fire 50 more shots on J.F. Labbe than Syracuse has been able to manage to get on the Wolf netminders, Nurminen primarily. Anytime you get that kind of differential in shots, it's just a matter of time before you start seeing that kind of a differential in goals, and that's what we're seeing in this one tonight.
And can I remind you, is not to make an excuse, but to tell you the absolute truth of the way things have gone in this series. Kent McDonnell was lost in the final game of the Philadelphia series, never returned. He didn't play one lick in this series, which would have been huge to have his physical presence on the ice. But the Crunch didn't have it. Long pass in the neutral zone that Rob Brown touches with a high stick.
Pronger gone.
Pronger's out.
Your captain.
Blake Belfay, who was instrumental in winning faceoffs in the defensive zone. We're talking about 2 of your 3 centers got knocked out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I guess that would have an impact. You know, and all season long, as you were talking to Gary Agnew about in your interview with him, his team has battled back from adversity. But you're talking about a Game 7 against a quality opponent like Chicago. There's you know, you can only go so far without the players that skill level.
And the Wolves beat the Crunch to another puck. Scoville, though, will put it back in. Labbe's coming off, and the extra attacker will come on. Here's Reach finding the man off the bench, and Darsh with a shot save made. Rebound just goes wide, and again. So close, but yet so far. Empty net is what the Wolves will be shooting out. Scoville goes back into his own zone. Doobie Westcott over the blue line. Dish it to Nielsen. Shot. Save made. Rebound. Another save. A third save. Everybody to the net. And again, can't beat the kid.
No, lots of whacks and a lot of traffic in front of Nermanen. And absolutely nothing in front of the Crunch net. As you see, Labbe has already taken off the extra attacker. But again, the Crunch throwing a lot of things at Pasi Nermanen. And again, you see a lot of saves being made by the Chicago netminder, and that puck just trickling wide. So, you know, you were mentioning too, Bob, when the shots and the bounces aren't going your way. And even in that case, I mean, he's unable to control the rebound initially, but still it doesn't get too far away from him, and eventually he's able to cover up. Things are just are going Chicago's way in just about every aspect of this contest.
Snyder winning the face-off, and Weaver's got the puck, wrapping around the boards. Westcott kept it in initially. Now there's a man behind the play. That's Guy LaRose. And LaRose hits the empty net, ensuring the Wolves a trip to Houston.
Well, a great season for the Crunch, and an equally exciting series against a team that they hadn't seen before this season. Chicago was a team they hadn't faced at all. They had to rely on videotape and a game plan that was put together by Gary Agnew, but in the end, it's the Wolves that come up victorious in this contest and in this series, as you see Guy LaRoche with his first contest of the playoff series, of this particular series, and that is simply going to be the icing on the cake for Chicago with a 6-2 advantage.
So the Wolves beat the Crunch, they beat the War Memorial, they beat JF Labbe. They step to the table.
Yeah, they proved that they deserve to advance. I mean, it's certainly not a fluke, and we have to take our hats off to them. They've been an exciting team to watch. They have brought both a physical style and some speed too, and certainly a goal-scoring ability. And it should be setting up for a very interesting series between Houston and Chicago. And of course, thoughts of what could have been for the Syracuse Crunch.
Neteros with a shot off his stick and into the crowd. 6-2. Well, the Crunch said right from the end of Sunday's game that don't look for it to be the same type of a game. Unfortunately, it is the same type of game the other way.
Yeah, I mean, really, you think about it, completely the other way. And everything seemed to go right for Syracuse in that game on Sunday, and nothing has gone right for him in this contest tonight.
Neteros on the draw, losing that one. Akins trying to clear. Borzinski sets it down, takes a shot. That one hit off a stick. Karlik in the near corner now. Trying to get it to Schill. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Schill one-handing it out in front. Borzinski with a shot. Nermanen with a save. Puck behind the net. Exelby blasted around and out. Piros is going to chase for it. He gets right around Borzinski. He's got Tappert cutting in. Piros walks in. Shot. Save is made by Labbe. No, he's not ready to quit.
No, never would be. I wouldn't expect that. And Piros, who again all series long has shown us that speed, and he has that move along the near boards, and he kind of just sneaks right in. And he gets off a good shot on Labbe, but Labbe able to make a nice save for JF Labbe. 31 shots faced tonight. And you see Piros goes to the backhand there, but Labbe moves so nicely from his left to right in sliding over to make that save.
Doobie Westcott near side to Matt Davidson. Give it back to Westcott now. Doobie a little head fake, and now he comes to the center red line. Throw it in. Nermanen bats it aside. Nielsen finding the trailer and reach with a shot. Kicked off the side of the net. Nielsen to Davidson. Wanted to move it out the reach, who had gotten position in front. Again, puck comes within a fraction of an inch of getting touched by the Crunch, but they don't get it. Lassard with a shot off the body of Nielsen. And Nielsen will pick it up again. Bring the puck back to center ice and lift it high in the air into the Chicago zone. Aaron Butsayev. Clearing attempt, knocked down by Darsh. His shot off the body of Nermanen, who then covers up with 1:07 to go.
Yeah, even to the end, you can see Syracuse trying to fire that puck on Nermanen. 36 shots on him tonight by Syracuse, and they've only beaten him twice, and both of those coming on pucks that were redirected. Power play goals, one by Walzer and one by Ling, and that's been it on this man. who has made 34 saves in this contest. And he did what he had to do to give his team a chance to win. Wasn't spectacular, but was good enough to get the victory.
Look at Gary Agnew, the obviously dejected Gary Agnew. He's been in this position before in Game 7s. Here's Sheward with a shot. Save is made, and the puck is knocked out. Labbe will set it up for Shrupko. Jamie Heward now. Passing all the way through the neutral zone. That one went by everybody. Nermanen will play just to wave off the icing here. The fans will rise to their feet in appreciation for what a year this has been for the Syracuse Crunch. Ling with a one-timer. Save is made. Rebound just chipped wide by Darsh. Tapper lifting the puck outside of the blue line. Shrupko will settle it down. And Heward sends it back in. Weaver got it to the blue line. Shrupko down to Ling in front, and another save by Patsy Nermanen. Can you believe that?
Wow. With 11 seconds left, and that just the topper. Nermanen with a great save right there to deny Syracuse, and you know, hard-fought series, and for the most part a clean series as well. I mean, two good teams going at it. It's been a lot of fun to watch these games here in the War Memorial, and a nice ovation from the crowd. Very appreciative of a fine season by the Syracuse Crunch.
Crunch won 3/4 of their home games this year. It was very seldom you came here and watched them lose in this building. They will lose tonight. They will be eliminated from postseason play as the clock trickles down and the season does come to an end. The Chicago Wolves advance and will take on the Houston Aeros in the American Hockey League Western Conference Finals. And the Houston Aeros will have the home ice advantage as the #1 seed in the conference. The Syracuse Crunch is eliminated here tonight.
And mildly ironic, the only home playoff loss for Syracuse is the game that finds them eliminated from the AHL playoffs. So certainly a fun season. Mr. McGilligan, it's a pleasure working with you this year. And, well, we went as far as we could possibly go. And the end of the road comes right here tonight at the War Memorial.
Here's the greatest gesture in all of sports going on at center ice right now. The ceremonial handshake between the winners and the losers of the series.
And I tell you, hopefully Chicago reserving the firmest handshake for goaltender J.F. Labbe. They had a problem beating him in this building until this game tonight.
And there you see it. Chicago wins it by the final of 6-2. For everyone on our production crew, thank you for a great season, and for my broadcast partner, and buddy, we'll do it again next year. It's been a lot of fun. Bob McElligott saying good night for Keith Copeland here from the War Memorial, where the Crunch is knocked out of the postseason by the Wolves tonight in Game 7 of the Western Conference Semifinal Series.